Thanks, Cobalt.
What?
All right, I got proper like noir music going for myself, so I'm gonna go ahead and share that in case y'all want to listen along.
What's this song?
It's on the stream. Foreside Earthbound.
That's what I knew it sounded familiar. Earthbound.
How do you get dragon marks again?
Born with them. That's pretty much it. It's kind of a genetic thing. You can be a member of the house with no dragon mark, but dragon marks are almost always a result of the house bloodline, due to a rather bloody war fought a long ways back, before the last war.
This sounds very much like Fire Emblem Three Houses.
It's Fire Emblem 12 houses, or 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, Three Houses had they were 3 countries, but they were 10 legendary heroes that got marks passed down. And then you also have the marks of the 4 saints.
So technically
15
2
marks.
more.
Yeah.
And no need to kind of make you jealous, but I am talking with the girl on Snapchat.
Ooh.
Yay.
I'm not gonna show her the stream though.
Understandable.
Gotta keep that private.
Are you embarrassed? Is there something wrong with the stream and stuff? Dova,
Huh?
what's wrong with the stream?
Nothing. I just don't think she's gonna be interested.
Well, you don't know until you ask.
I'm getting my foot in the door right now. Can you settle down, okay?
Small steps.
Exactly.
Why do you hate us?
Skip the question.
Pass.
That's not
Yeah,
an
pass.
option.
So
Yeah,
today was rather cold out.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it was like negative 12 Celsius on the thermometer when I woke up. It's kind of chilly. And I had to scrape off my car for a
Try
long
being
time.
outside in it.
I
all
basically
night.
was. I was in a freezer all day.
So you do know my pain.
I do. And the freezer is like, I think it's set to negative 10 Fahrenheit. Although sometimes I feel as though it's a lot colder in like the corners,
Dova.
because the thermometer is right next to the door, and I know for a fact the door seal is heated, so it doesn't freeze.
Why does this book have humor? Things to do in Tavik's Landing. Gamble. Hug a shifter. Find refugee.
I
That's
know.
pretty good.
Hug a shifter was
Hug a
just
shifter. No, these aren't. This isn't a multiple choice question. These are check boxes.
yeah, they are. It's an objective.
This is like the goose game.
Things to do in North Edge. Settle down. Die in style. Find a patron.
Things to do in
We
Dura.
have, we
Suffer
have,
a terrible accident.
we have to go to the
Yeah.
Crooked Cat. It's essentially a bar with a bunch of cats in it.
Things to do in Dura. Talk about the race. Gamble. Go shopping. A little crime. Suffer a terrible accident. Just a little bit of crime.
Just a little, not much. What's the current month? Just gotta check. Voot.
Are there any holidays coming up?
You've got Long Shadows coming up. That's on the 27th, 28th. Vote.
Yes, the long shadow.
Oh, but they spend these nights indoors with friends. They don't celebrate.
I
Well,
mean,
some people celebrate.
they say that the Tane Gala after the Night of Long Shadows is probably the largest ball that anyone throws in the entire continent, really.
Why do they keep balls this big?
You settle down, okay?
I'm asking a genuine question, Dova.
Up in the Sky Quarter, up where all the Irtane family holds, all their wealth.
All the rich people.
Yeah, and the Tane Gala it used to be just the Irtane family throwing it, but it's kind of over the years evolved to be an informal holiday. Basically, the first Friday of each month, essentially. They're the first far. Basically, a big old day of celebration. Just for no reason, just to have fun.
Do they have all their balls in the sky like that?
I'm gonna ignore that.
Gerald, fucking Dova.
Hold on, alright. Who's Gerald?
Like, honestly, the only other person I talked to. I have one IRL friend, and that's him.
Oh. Way! We rolled the same. Alright, now Sinel, you roll. If it's a 3, it's a sign. No, you dingus.
It's gotta be a D20.
It's gotta be a D20.
But
Ah,
Dova,
I win.
do the wealthy people keep all the balls in the skyway? That's a serious question.
You're not part of the 3 group. Sets of 3s.
I'm gonna take that away again.
Take what away?
Shrek.
He's on a different
Shrek
reality.
is it? That's Shrek. You forgot the.
I took him away once, I'll do it again.
No. Why do you hate Shrek? Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Shrek is stuck with a bunch of rowdy kobolds right now.
No.
They have a D10 chart for what happens when you fall in Sharn.
I thought it was a
It is
D100.
it is a great chart.
It is a wonderful chart. I like number 10. I think that's pretty great.
Yeah. Just die instantly, I think.
No. You slip through the manifest zone surrounding Sharn and find yourself in the plain of Saranya.
I like that rolling a 1 just makes you die instantly.
You fall hundreds of feet before striking the ground at the base of the towers.
Mhm. I love it's like, oh, there's railings, but you could still fall off. So there's not really railings.
A guardian angel manifests and catches you. Is it sheer luck due to Sean's proximity to Siran? Is it Sirania?
Yeah, Saranya.
Sirania.
A giant owl catches you and threatens to drop you if you don't give it a reward. You strike a small air elemental that was drawn to the city. It cushions your fall, but now you're on top of an air elemental. Somebody's gonna fall off a bridge. I just know it.
It's only a matter of time.
hmm It's either gonna be Yark, me, or Dusty. And it's probably gonna be me trying to catch either Yark or Dusty.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. Unfortunately, Mickey is not here, so I will now turn this over to Discount Mickey.
Oh God. Is Discount Mickey here?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, Discount Mickey, and take us there.
I'm sorry, I'm not contractually obligated like normal Mickey. I'm merely rented per group.
Alright, fair enough. As his union representative, I'll go ahead and take over.
You're not the union representative.
I just said I'm the union rep.
Yes, but that doesn't make you the union rep.
I
That
also vote for
privilege
Nova
would
TV.
actually
I also-
fall to Zerth himself.
I mean, I just got a vote to be union rep.
Yeah, I vote for that.
Except that Zerth is the union rep.
I mean, he can relinquish his
Zerth-
position to whoever he likes.
Zerth, I vote for you to give Dova the union rep status.
Wait a minute, now I don't have your vote anymore.
I can vote for multiple things. These are two separate votes.
Okay, fair enough.
It's
I
two
vote
separate
for
polls.
Zerth to relinquish his union representative or union rep status to me.
And because there's only 4 of us in Zerth,
And
can't
I
that's
vote
2-1.
for Zerth to retain the union rep status.
I think that's 2 versus 1,
2
so
versus 1. Candidate can't vote.
yeah.
You can't vote.
Well,
I lost Eberron.
Unfortunately,
Tom,
you
let's just
see,
get into it.
I can just fire Yark.
All right, cool. Let's get into it.
All right. So, last session, you didn't really participate in this, but you guys, as players, suffered through a nightmare sequence that Dusty had while riding the lightning rail from the western side of the Mournlands all the way across the continent, a journey taking multiple days to Sharn, the city of towers. Now, those of you who have been here before know that Sharn is big, very big, and I think that's really only Yark,
Correct.
who, by the way, is not in the fantasy grounds yet.
It's
You
loading.
have it? Okay. Anyways,
Or connecting, I guess.
as you guys are getting closer and closer, it's about mid-afternoon at this point. You actually enter into the city's shadow. The spires just towering above you, and from a very limited viewpoint from the inside of the train cars, you can actually see a tremendous floating city just above it. A quite decent amount of buildings interconnected with these will look like floating bridges and various ships, just kind of airships docked way up high. But from this distance, it's kind of hard to tell the specifics as is kind of obscured by more and more of the towers as you get closer and closer to the destination. The city itself is built into the cliffside and kind of stretching up quite a ways, at least 1,000 feet, maybe 2,000. And from what you know, Yark, this is due to it being in a manifest zone, which basically lets a lot of things kind of float and levitate and just kind of bypass normal engineering guidelines.
It also boots levitation and flying-based magic ability.
That is true. And in fact, you see quite a few kind of little, almost like insect-like dots kind of flitting from building to building, from tower to tower. And Yark, you know that these are the sky coaches, basically a fleet of kind of canal boats that have been built from the ground up to use the manifest zone to kind of levitate and to fly around. You've never actually ridden in one of these, as they were a little bit expensive for your salary at the time. However, as you get closer and closer to these towers, you see that the rail line actually kind of moves up, kind of skirting the side of the cliff, and heads into one of the lower sections of the tower. And I can actually bring up that map real quick. Da-da-da. Can I? Thank you very much, game, for letting me grasp that little corner bit. As you can see on the right, that purple line entering the terminus district is where the lightning rail is going, kind of riding along the base of that cliff. And as you're getting closer and closer, another lightning rail is actually headed out on the same line, coming out of the city. And as you get close, the train kind of drifts to the side a bit, still clinging to the stones underneath, but you see the other train kind of slide in the opposite direction, pass by with a decent amount of space. And as the train gets closer and closer, turns the bend, and you're just you're almost in a tunnel. The walls are so high above you.
I'm just staring out the window in awe. I've heard many stories of this place.
It pales in comparison to seeing it in person.
Mm-hmm.
The train continues onwards, and you see a large kind of gate entering into the city, with large doors that are currently open. And as the train kind of ambles through, you can hear the gates start to creak close. They're very, very loud. Or actually, no, they would not close. Sorry about that. But the numerous guard stations kind of stationed on either side of it are you actually would not be able to tell whether they're watching at the moment, because there's very little space you can actually see into these guard towers built into the walls. And you guys start to see through the fairly steady light of a number of ever-bright lanterns, a very large sort of train terminus. As the train pulls in further, you can see kind of a branching path, almost like a grid line of these anchor stones, as the train just kind of starts floating in the direction it kind of pleases, eventually heading into a large platform. And at some point, you think it floated over what was basically meant for the trains to turn around, but as the train approaches the platform, a lot of the people in the train are starting to stand up, gather their belongings, and head out. And outside is just a buzz of activity. there must be at least 100, maybe 200 people in this platform alone waiting to get back on. A lot of them look to be military. There's a small squad kind of standing off to the side in formation, currently strapping their packs on.
I narrow my eyes.
They don't seem to really pay you much mind. But you do notice that there are quite a few people who look to be guards, at least 10 to 20 in this area.
I collect my things and get ready to get off.
All right.
Sino will collect his things as well, heading off. Heading towards the door, and of course, DeSoto in tow.
I don't really have things, but I'll collect my son, who's probably asleep.
Hanging from the...
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for somewhere. Where is it?
Sino will also drag the T-posing and Noon along.
He's just in shock from all the being in this strong of a manifest zone for the first time.
Yeah, sure. That works. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyways. Oh, jeez. As you guys step off the lightning rail, you almost kind of stagger for a second as being up on your own two legs is just, oh, it feels so good as you stretch out.
I'm pretty sure
How
I'm
long
fine.
was the train ride?
Like 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have been sleeping like in your seats. Those of you who bought the common class seats are a little bit more comfortable, but everyone is very stiff. And just stepping out of the train feels wonderful. And you're barraged with this crazy like mix of different smells and various sounds, lots of talking, lots of yelling actually. It's just crazy. You see a handful of Warforged just kind of carrying stuff off the train, along with the other regular workers, unloading the cargo portion of the train. What looks to be a few mage rights are currently bringing a few smaller boxes and attending to work on the engine itself. Various magical tasks. But there's vendors. There's there's tourist shops. Lots of gift shops in here. Very large information sort of ticket desk. That's kind of a big circular thing right in the middle of it all. Looks a lot like kind of Grand Central Station. The glass ceiling actually looks up kind of into the Terminus district and kind of all the way up to the a decent kind of patch of sky, which currently isn't shining much sunlight down in here, but it's reflecting enough that there's a bit of natural light. And it'd be it would be looking up into what Yark would know to be Tavik's Market. Kind of a marketplace district.
I guess it's a market district.
Is there a large... Wait, where are we right now?
You guys are in Terminus, where that purple line stops. On the right side.
What were we
Of
here
which
for
map?
originally?
We gotta
Lower
go,
Shard.
Oh, there it is. I see.
We gotta go to the Menthus Plateau to get to the Morgrave University to turn in these spell shards.
Great fun! Right, Boo?
Zerth was just kind of take a long drag on this cigar, just look around. This place is bigger than I thought.
Well, we've already got influence.
That was fast. All right. Accepted.
Um,
What day is it, actually? All right. So, what are you guys doing?
I say let's turn in our quest, and then we can have some leisure time to explore.
Yes, agreed.
That sounds like a good idea. I do want to go find a leather worker to put together some armor for DeSoto here. At some point.
That's not a bad idea.
Dusty is asleep on your back, Zerth.
Mhm.
And Sinnoh's just dragging along the T-poser. He just kind of floats along the ground.
Mhm.
Well, no, he floats through the ground because, you know.
All right, he's no clipping into the back rooms.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
He can shave off 2 seconds off of any percent speed run.
Sorry, he's doing an accelerated back hop. Desync is a wonder to this world. Anyways, as you guys are heading towards, kind of following the flow of most traffic, you see that you do have to pass through basically customs. A large kind of stretch of tunnel heading into the city proper seems to be the only entrance and exit in this place. And kind of flanking the sides and in the middle are quite a decent amount of guards, checkpoints, and just customs stuff. And kind of at the front of it, you see a trio of guards. These kind of stick out because one, they're a little bit taller, as they're all half orcs. One of them's a female, and two, the one of the males and the female are just staring directly at you from across this giant plaza. They have both just zoned in specifically on you.
I'm staring back.
Well, you and Yark, really. And, well, your whole group, actually. Yeah, we're just gonna say you all. Y'all. And you see them kind of talk to the few guards next to them, who kind of nod, look over your direction, but they just stand their ground way over there.
I'm going to like actively, like after staring at them, just turn away and just kind of look around, but I'll keep them out of the corner of my eye. Like, I acknowledge you, but you're right now of no importance to me right now. I'm looking at, oh cool, all this place is interesting.
Fair enough. I think I should get something going.
Depends on what.
Where's my... I need to roll a thing. There's a... as you're kind of walking around, just glancing about, you see a group of children kind of pestering some of the travelers. And you kind of stare at them for a little while, just kind of curious as to what they're doing before you see one of them with quite a bit of grace kind of swoop in on an unsuspecting traveler who's kind of distracted by the group of children, and very carefully grabs a fistful of something out of the traveler's pockets. The traveler kind of yells in alarm as one of the guards goes to check it out, and a few minutes later they kind of disappear into the crowd, and you see the guard very forcefully holding onto the wrist of the child and giving him a very stern talking to, with the traveler kind of standing just above him, arms crossed.
I'm gonna focus on that. Slowly make my way towards them, but kind of keep on the outskirts as not to draw too much, or as much of attention as an 8-foot tall gator can do.
All right.
Kind of keep an eye on the kid.
All right. It seems as you get closer, they are talking in kind of hushed tones. The two guards who are currently kind of giving a very, very, very stern talking to the child. You can see that the traveler receives whatever he got stolen out of his pockets and kind of counts it and nods, puts it back in his pocket, and secures the button that was loosened before kind of heading off after talking with the guard for a little bit more.
Mm.
And after a little while longer, go ahead and give me an insight check with disadvantage.
Insight with disadvantage. Oh wow, the two spectrums.
Judging by how the child is kind of rubbing his eyes, looking very ashamed, it has that sort of look that you would guess to be probably coming from a wealthier family and just kind of down here for fun. That's what you're guessing from this distance. As the kid kind of mopes away, the two guards kind of step back up and start to resume their patrols. Just kind of ambling throughout the main plaza, looking out for suspicious things.
I'm gonna follow where the kid goes with my eyes.
All right. The kid kind of scampers off to one of the nearby shops that sells sweets, where the rest of the kids are kind of hanging out in a small little alleyway near that. He receives a few kind of ribbings and jokes about being caught. You're guessing, before he just kind of joins the group again, and really disappears from sight.
All right.
I'll take a mental note of them, but continue onward since they're out of sight.
I will find the fastest way to Moorgrave. Moorgrave? Yeah, Moorgrave University.
All right. You know that you could probably catch a sky coach and actually afford it this time, but you still do need to pass through customs first.
Oh, well, let's do that then.
All right. As you are approaching, a handful of the guards, or actually just two of them, kind of on the pointer from the two half-orcs. Both of them, you would notice as you get closer, have the mark of finding kind of inscribed on their forehead, just around their left eye. It's kind of a swirling pattern that goes on their left eye and then down the left side of their face.
Neat.
And they are definitely glowing with activity as they're watching you. The guards kind of approach you, and one of them, a rather burly-looking female half-elf, comes up to you, Yark, in particular, and says, "It appears you have some magical items, artifacts, weaponry, armor. We would appreciate before you enter the city if you would follow us for a private screening.
Okay. And he follows behind him.
All right. Everyone else following?
Sure.
Yeah,
Alright.
might as well.
All right. One of
Siddle's out of
the
place
male
here,
half
so-
orcs. Sorry.
Siddle's out of place here, so he's just kind of following along.
Tales of our
Fair enough.
endeavors proliferate.
One of the male half orcs, who is staring at you from across the way, is kind of following you a little ways behind. And along this kind of tunnel, there's numerous doors
Tales
leading
of
into
our endeavors
various rooms and
proliferate.
hallways. As you enter through one, kind of like the start of Half-Life 2.
None shall
Um,
see me.
As you guys
No,
basically
my
head into a
battlecry
private
may give
screening
me
room
away.
with a few bits of artifice, kind of a large wall filled with various cabinets, tables, and just it's kind of almost like an interrogation room, except a lot more homely. But it's definitely been used, you can tell. Not for interrogation, but for a lot of screenings. It's just kind of a lot of wear and tear. As they close the door lightly behind you, the one guard says, "All right, so it appears that we've detected some magical items on your possessions. If you'd like to declare anything before we begin the search, that would be wonderful."
Okay, so this is out of character. What does he mean by declaring?
Basically, you bring out items, and you would know that some of the districts have restrictions on magical weaponry and just weaponry in general. And the last time you were here, you basically just brought out anything that was magical, all weaponry, and basically they just made sure that it was within regulations. There wasn't anything like world-ending, like any artifice bombs or anything like that. Basically TSA.
I'm gonna grip my cigars very closely.
Alright, I guess I'll take everything out, which
Alright.
is a lot of stuff.
Of the bag of holding.
Well, not everything out of the bag of holding, but all the magic items out of the bag of holding. And the bag of holding as well.
All right. You turn it inside out.
Wait, I didn't say not every. I said not everything.
All right. As
But,
the
I mean,
half
hold
orc.
on. Let me see what I have, because I have almost 500 pounds worth of stuff in here.
The large half orc who followed you in, is looking very intently at your bag, Yark, as you empty it out.
I guess I'll just I'll start. I think for a second, and I'll like take the bag and hold it as if I'm about to turn it inside out, and I'll look to the guy to like kind of confirm that it's okay.
The guard kind of motions for you to continue as he takes a step back.
All right, so I do it,
All right.
and I'm not gonna take everything out of the bag of holding, so I'm just gonna put it back in. Hopefully, you can just look in it to see if there's anything that needs to.
Yep. Let me look.
Been getting pretty close to capacity here.
As everything clatters out on the floor, the half orc is kind of raises his eyebrow as blue comes shooting out. Still stone dead, by the way.
Here goes. Oh yeah.
He just kind of stares at you, waiting for an explanation.
He looks at him and goes, "Oh, I had him because he needs to be repaired."
Looks
But
at the
I'm very
kind
small.
of charred and half taken apart nature of it.
Hey, Let's also have put back together.
I need a long rest, everyone, actually.
Yes, please.
All right.
Yeah, I got health.
Yeah. Looks at it for a moment. And he says, "Actually, if you're looking on getting him repaired, I know that there's a place somewhere down in the cogs. There's a lot of work on Warforged.
Well, thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
I'd keep him out of sight from now on."
That's why he was in the bag of holding.
Yes. Well, I don't see anything. And he looks towards the half-orc, who gives a nod. Don't see anything explicitly illegal. However, if you wish to continue carrying your arms in the open like that, you will need to buy a weapons permit for 10 Galifars.
Okay. And I do that.
10
Wait.
Galifars?
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't have enough money.
Okay, sorry. I got a call that I had to take. What did I miss?
You guys
TSA.
are in TSA, private screening.
Oh, joy.
We got selected for further screening.
Yep.
Sirs, do you have the money? Do you have money?
I have some gold.
Okay.
I am 4 gold short. 1 Galifars.
Fiddle
it
will
would be-
pull out his money pouch and count out 20 Galifars. This will cover me and the little one, right?
Yeah, that will cover it.
Perfect.
Oh, hold on. He holds up his gauntlet and says, "Does this count as a weapon?"
Looks towards the half-orc, who nods. Yeah. Any
Okay.
sort of spell-slinging apparatus will count as a weapon.
Mm,
And that includes you, wizard, as he looks at Inun, whose eyes are currently spinning in their sockets. Take that as a yes.
he had a
No.
chocolate
His
dream,
his
right?
head, his entire body's moving, but his eyes aren't. They're like frozen in place.
That's
No.
Like,
Better
that's
yet,
fairly normal.
his...
It should wear off. It should wear off in about a day or so. You'll be looking after him, right?
Do we
his
have
T-pose
to?
flips upside down for a little bit.
He will be my responsibility.
That's good. With the one on your back as well, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Well, before you go out on the streets, I will need to give you a short introduction to some of the rules here, as I can clearly see that you are not from here, nor have you visited. As he's taking your identification paper like packets,
He says, "Oh, I visited."
little wallets, and he's starting to run them through the apparatus kind of embedded in the wall. As you see a little kind of flare of magic, kind of beaming down onto your papers. As he's returning them to you, you see that you have a customs cleared endorsement, in addition to general inspection pass.
Eberron is very political.
Oh, it is. As he says, given your adventuring status, I assume, is it a profession or a hobby?
Life calling.
Hobby right
More
now.
of bounty hunters, but yes, it's
The hunters.
it's
It is
work.
all the same as far as profession and sort of lifestyle is concerned.
Hobby for Yark.
I advise taking a quick trip into Death's Gate, perhaps. It's only maybe a few hours walk along the platforms from here. And I know that they might have work for you, lodging for you. More tailored towards your tastes, that is. I assume that you have been to S City since you all have papers. Most rules will apply. No fighting. No stealing. Act like a proper civilized being and you will do fine here.
I look more worried as I look at my son.
We can defend ourselves if need be, right?
Yes. But
Hopefully it's not required, obviously, but
hopefully, yes. Though in the lower districts it can get quite hairy. Defending yourself is allowed, but only to the point of escape. If you have the chance to escape, then do so. Chasing down someone who attacked you to kill them is murder. And depending on the circumstances, you may be executed.
Oh, there won't be any chasing. He
You
says
kinda-
that as a matter of fact.
She kind of just looks at you.
I look back at her.
I'll assume you meant that in the altruistic way.
Takes a long drag.
She was
No
about to say
answer.
something, but she looks back at you. If you get kicked out of the higher levels, don't be personally offended. But they do have higher standards for cleanliness and attire.
Mm.
Oh, hey, Dusty's here. Oh, I'm gonna have to give him the summary of what happened. Oh boy.
Hey, Dova.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I really like this person's sort of accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Because I'm kind of a fan of it. When's Dusty joining?
He's slowly
He
waking
slept through customs. But she's going to continue saying the cleansing stones and are free for public use if you do encounter them. And if you have any questions about any individual statutes according to the various districts and levels of the city, please feel free to ask the guards if they do not appear too busy, that is.
up.
It is better for you to ask and maybe look like an idiot for a little while than do something dumb and end up in jail for years.
Think
hope
before
you
acting
understand.
kind of society.
Yes. Also, I would, if you are looking for good deals, I might hit up the markets today. A lot of warehouses are cleaning up on extra stock, but the market districts are going to be very, very busy.
Good to know. Thank you for your insight and advice.
Of course. Yeah, it continues to look over your various weaponry, and eventually saying, "All right, you should be cleared to enter the city. I implore you to make no trouble, because the Sharn Watch is always watching."
Oh, that's easy. It'll be easy not to make trouble.
Good.
I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Yeah,
You
I
say
said it.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I said it.
also, watch your step. There might not always be ground where you're walking.
Ah, yes, I saw the descent table.
Oh, you're awake.
Where am I? What
You're
happened?
you're on a cart on a winter road.
Everything
happened
about
to the
coming to
train?
Sharn was a complete dream.
What
It's
happened?
all a dream. You're going another step in. You're going. So, Dusty, you are currently in a kind of stuffy, kind of dark-ish room. Currently on Zerth's shoulders, with a rather burly-looking male half-orc kind of standing by the door with a large, kind of scrawling, glowing tattoo on his left eye and down the left side of his face, and with a female half-elf guard currently looking over a few of Yark's possessions from his bag of holding.
There's a lot of possessions to look through.
Yeah. Oh, and you can start cleaning your possessions up.
I start scooping everything back in.
I bet we're covered in dirt, blood, and other things.
A lot of sweat, actually. I can kind of smell it. It's kind of filling the room.
It's natural adventure odor.
Wait,
I'd recommend
hold on.
stopping by one of the cleansing stones.
Zerth and I don't sweat.
I mean, you smell fairly bad still.
I
Just
understand.
kind of general body odor that's been building up for a little
Fair
while.
enough. It's like an unclean reptile cage.
Yeah, basically that.
Remember, folks, bathe your snakes.
All right, cool. And we touch one of the things on our inside out. On our way out.
All right. As they let you out, giving you your papers back with the endorsement.
Dusty
as you
just looks
are-
generally confused.
And it doesn't help as you exit this kind of long tunnel with a bunch of people kind of passing in either direction, that once you're in the sunlight, first of all, kind of bright for you, Dusty, especially as the sun is almost directly overhead. Also, you look up to see the top of the building in front of you, and you just keep looking up and up and up and up.
He falls onto his back.
That's a heck of a wake up, as you are now in the city proper, and you are free to do what you wish.
He climbs back on Zerth's shoulder and says, "I'm clearly not awake yet. Let me get comfortable."
Wake me up when I stop dreaming.
Basically, yes. Basically.
I'm gonna take one of the little maps that they hand out at the train stations
All right.
and try to find a sky coach to the university.
All right. Actually, it wouldn't be that hard, as there is, in fact, kind of a sky coach landing point, right on the side of the tower that you're kind of leaving out of. There's a handful of sky coaches, each with very equally looking, interesting characters, kind of sitting by the helm. Some of them with the mark of storms, kind of on their hands. You can see kind of a writhing, almost like a gusty mark. But some of them are taking passengers as they kind of slowly float off and ascend into the whirling labyrinth above. There's someone selling quality wands in a nearby alley, saying that they're definitely not stolen. As a couple of guards kind of move in to tell them to knock their shit off.
Can I do a perception check?
What you looking for?
Any active dangers, like people eyeing us suspiciously?
Go ahead.
Looking to like jump us.
Not really, but you do see like a gigantic rat scurry around the corner and into an alleyway.
I lick my lips.
You reckon it's about the size of your foot?
Oh, I definitely lick my lips. Bread does not sustain a gator.
Fair enough. You guys are fairly kind of tired and hungry, and there's a confusing kind of bouquet of very delicious smells and very bad smells kind of wafting around.
I'd say we should go, first off, find ourselves a inn. Before we go turn in these spell shards, because something tells me they're gonna be prim and proper and turn their noses down at us for being less than pleasant
Stinky.
appearing.
Oh, I thought I said I was gonna touch the little cleansing thing. I
Alright.
figured there'd be one at the train station, right?
Now that you're in the city, there's a large kind of plaza with a, we'll say a homely looking, a park. A little bit of nature inside these wood and stone labyrinth. But it's got a few trees in it. There's a little pool of water that seems to look fairly fresh. And there's a stone pedestal with what you would recognize as a cleansing stone.
Okay, cool. I'll bat that with my hand.
All right. Doesn't seem to do anything with one hand.
Oh, with both hands.
All right. As as a bit of wind almost rushes up from beneath you, a very fresh, clean scent permeating your nose as the grime of traveling for a few days washes off.
Dusty watches in awe, and then thinks, "Wait, that's really bad for someone in a dress."
Oh wait, Dova, that reminds me. How many
Yeah?
days has it been since I started working on the essentially Kirk collar?
When did you start working on it?
Oh, aboard the plane. On our first day aboard the plane. 'Cause I think that's-
It's been about a full work week.
All right, cool. It would be done then. And I paid for it as soon as I started.
All right.
Zerth is gonna like baseball palm Dusty's head and move towards the cleansing stone. Come on, boy, we gotta get clean.
Just hold his whole head in one hand.
Cease!
I'm gonna look up at Dusty and say, but it's not a bath.
I didn't even get asked.
No, you did not.
You don't gotta.
See, your brother clean, now you clean. And you're gonna like shove him on the stone.
All right. Are you going to actively avoid getting clean, Dusty?
Well, I mean, he's wriggling because he's being grabbed by his head. I mean, so he might just like flip around it.
Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check. With you being in his grasp, there's really not very many places to go, and you are pressed against it, but you manage to keep both of your hands off of it. Thus, doesn't really activate.
I'm gonna chuckle, and I'm gonna press into him. So I'm like hugging the orb. So it's me, Dusty, and then the orb. Try to press his hands onto it.
Or you can just place both of his hands with your other hand.
I will be crushed before you make me do something.
Unfortunately, there's really no escape from it this time, as a very stiff wind kind of blows from upwards, from beneath both of you, and washes away the grime and filth.
We are probably making quite the scene.
Yeah.
You're not attracting as many stares as you thought you would be. It appears the people are very used to commotion.
We're gonna have to step up our game, boy. Within the laws.
Well, okay, that one will be tricky. Okay. Because this means I can't, like, stab my ear. I can't Legally.
Legally, of course.
Senna will shake his
All right.
head and step up and just touch the orb.
All right. clean. Basically, the same exact thing happens.
Sweet.
DeSoto, let me roll a intelligence check for him. Not quite grasping it. He seems to be very distracted as he rolled a -3.
Sinnoh will help him touch it, you know.
All right. He looks very bewildered, as he looks like he was put through a hairdryer. He's kind of very puffy at the moment. He kind of looks up at you, and you can see that he's just either ashamed, embarrassed, or just furious. But he looks
It's
he is
okay.
very clean now.
It's okay, boy. You're okay. He'll just pat him on the head and... Alright, now let's get on our way to, where the hell are we going again? For
the
these
Wargrave
spell shards?
University.
Sure,
Exactly.
that place, yeah.
All right.
I totally know what you're talking about. We'll head over there.
You managed to wave down one of the sky coach drivers, a half elf with just wild blonde hair. As he kind of waves you on, he says, "Hey, only 2 sovereigns per piece."
Per person?
That's what I meant. Person, piece, same
Alright,
thing.
cool.
It's all about weight.
I'll pass him 2 sovereigns and say, we're going up to the university.
All right. You look like learned folk. As the sky coach kind of drops down with you guys in it. It feels very similar to the ones that you rode up to the large airship. But the whole atmosphere is different. It's a lot warmer. And actually, as you guys realize, it's a fairly comfortable temperature in here. It doesn't really have that the wintry kind of nip that the rest of the continent's going through, as the inside's fairly temperate. There is a little bit of moisture in the air, but it's kind of like an ever-present fog.
Is it Liam's tiny car?
No, not inside the sky coach itself. Just kind of in the city as a whole.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm. As the sky coach driver is kind of maneuvering upwards, he's kind of sitting at the back in a little raised platform with a large stone artifice, almost like a globe in front of him. He's manipulating it with his hands in very subtle, small motions. As he makes a little bit of small talk. So where are you folks headed? Where are you guys here? You guys, do you guys work for the college, or are you just visiting?
We're just doing a quick job.
That's fair enough. I hear that they offer lots of work for adventuring folks. I think just last week I brought a party of I think was it like 7 students and 2 large, kind of big guys, kind of like you, as he points to Zerth.
How big is this boat that we're riding on?
It's about the size of like a canal boat.
Okay.
So a decent amount of room for all you guys. Room for about 10 medium humanoids. There's a few smaller ones at the station, and there's a few larger ones. It's kind of in the middle. Or kind of actually towards the upper scale. Sorry, there's a lot of like 1 and 2 person coaches.
Are there sky kayaks for personal use?
Not from what you're seeing, no.
Oh,
But there are a
that'd be
handful
cool.
of kind of what look to be cargo skiffs. You actually see a few flying creatures of some sort, most likely griffins and giant owls, stuff like that.
Ooh.
not really paying you much mind.
I'm going to. I guess I'll chat about that time we. How about that time we killed we fought the bandits in the plane, the ones that rode the raptors.
Oh.
As long as we're sharing stories. And while I do that, I'm going to try on my hopefully finished cur collar.
They were very tasty.
He gives you a very kind of worried look.
I wink at him.
I hope you kept that kind of wild part of you outside of Sharn, because they don't really look too kindly on that here.
A gator's gotta eat.
What?
Go ahead and give me what's your like passive intimidation?
Remember,
I think we
he's
went over
got the
this last
scar.
time.
I do have the scar.
So I'll let you add your proficiency if you aren't.
And the dread helmet. So I would say 14.
Are you wearing the dread helmet right now?
I thought you said you
Does
Oh,
he
gosh.
ever take it
go
off?
into, yeah, I thought you said you take it off whenever you go into a city.
I think I do now because of the other issue I had.
Exactly.
Wait, was that the train? I think that was the train issue. No, I take it off when I get on train.
Oh,
And you probably leave it off when you go into a city, right?
Well, I haven't encountered anybody with the city, but say in this, we just got off a train. I don't think he would have put it back on. So I would say 14.
all right. He looks at you very, very just concerned at the moment, but he keeps his composure. You can feel the speed kind of increase a little bit.
Victory.
And he says, anyways,
Am I still on your shoulder?
Yes.
it's
Okay.
getting kind of windy, and you're feeling a little bit wobbly up there. As the wind on your face would definitely wake you up.
No, dream. Stop waking me up. I'm dreaming.
As you keep moving higher and higher, the towers below kind of disappearing beneath you. As you start to emerge kind of from the ever-present fog in the lower sections, kind of up to the middle sections, you can see the streets becoming much more open, the space between the towers larger. As you start to move into the upper levels, actually. And let me share the. They should be in your maps folder. I made them all public. But the one you're going to be looking for is 3, Upper Sharn.
Okay, this dream
This
might
is-
be real.
And this is like the 3rd level from the bottom. I'll just go ahead and share it with everyone.
I was about
But
to say that
where you're
dream was the
heading
one-
is kind of in the bottom center, in that middle plateau, or the lower plateau.
the university district.
Yep. And there's actually a chapter for it.
Is the
Sorry? Yark, you cut out. Uh-oh.
We lose.
Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there we go. We're back.
Hearing is doable.
All right. Yark? Uh-oh. Yark? We cannot hear you.
York has died. He is muted somehow, maybe.
His headset might be dead. You might have to just restart Discord.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
I did have to restart Discord.
There
not
you
restart,
go.
I had to hang up and come back.
all right. Sorry, you said you were about to say something? You're about to do something?
Oh, I was just checking to confirm this was the Memphis Plateau.
Ah. Da-da.
will actually ask him for recommendations on a good tavern for us to stay at.
Let me think. I know a couple up in I know a couple up in Death's Gate do specialize in adventuring sort of folks. Clifftop, if you've got quite the deep pockets, has very nice inns, but they are, of course, very expensive, and I think a little ways outside my purchasing power. Oh, we lost him again. I'm gonna wait until he gets back.
One eternity later.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you there?
Yeah. I hope it's a Discord thing and not an internet thing, because I can't really do anything if it's internet.
Oh, yeah, that would kind of suck. All right. So, as you continue to climb upwards and upwards, he just kind of it keeps doing a little bit of small talk, giving a few recommendations for. Oh, what was that? Everything is breaking.
I know, like, I'm not having any problems with the internet, it seems, so I think it might be a Discord thing, but I already reset it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Here, let me change the server real quick. Maybe that'll help.
Oh, it might have been an internet thing, because it says I disconnected and reconnected to the fantasy grounds.
Okay. Well, yeah, that would... I would assume it would be an internet thing, because we're not having issues, so...
There's a lot of established places here, so I gotta start digging through. But I think for someone who just arrived, I think that there is a quite a nice few places in a Death's Gate as well as Silvergate. Was it Silvergate? I can't remember. Yeah, Silvergate, I think. Anyways, the Silvergate ones are a lot more expensive. But hey, I mean,
Well,
it's
thank
up
you
to
much.
you. As you guys start to get a lot closer, and you can see the large kind of domed building that is the main university tower. None of you guys have really been here, but you, Yark, you've kind of heard of it, and you can see it on your maps. And it's kind of your like tourist maps. It's marked out as the Dalinan Tower. Just a large kind of spire with a large domed top where you can see quite a few plazas kind of attached in the adjacent areas and adjacent towers. And and as you kind of approach closer to this very large open plaza, you can see a lot of people in university uniforms, a lot of students, a lot of various academic types, kind of strolling around. As you approach the ledge, the coach driver says, "And here we are. Hope you enjoy your stay. Hope you enjoyed the ride. And if you need to get around further, just wave me down, and I'll make sure you get there in one piece." As the
Thank you
side of
much.
it bumps against the adjacent kind of dock area, he says, "You folks have a great day."
You as well.
Okay. Dusty just looks up and says, I can fly higher.
Probably good.
Yeah. But then you might take a car and catch me. And I don't like the thought of that. Father, you do not belong in the sky.
You're not wrong, son. He's just kind of looking tentatively over the edge. I'm a land gator, not a sky gator.
I mean, I could try to catch you if I fall, but my bones.
I give you a knowing look of really, yes, we know how well that's gonna work. As I pat my stomach.
Did you eat already? Oh, it's gonna be impossible now.
All right. As you guys start to get resituated, you notice that the large plaza that you're on is actually kind of like a rooftop garden area. There's lots of greenery. There's lots of trees planted up here. And you notice that the across a rather large bridge is the large kind of university dome itself. But other than that, you really don't know exactly where to go. I think Yark is dealing with issues.
No, I was thinking about going to get food, but I think I'll help you figure out where this university is before I go.
Yeah,
How
so
long-
we can
how
turn
long do
in
you think
our
it would take you to get food?
shards.
I don't know.
If we can, just because I'm pretty sure some of us want to spend once we cash this in. So we can probably go and just get and hand in our job.
Yes, I'd agree. We should start off with completing this task.
All right.
Yes.
On the notice itself that you kind of ripped off from the bounty board, it doesn't say exactly who to contact.
Power Stone, why is Inude so big?
I'm scared. I'm so scared. Oh, he's thick, dude.
He's having model problems because of his DCing.
Fair enough.
His model's definitely whacking out here.
Hey guys, do you think there's a pet show around here? I really want to show off my pet.
That's all he says.
It'll be very impressive to everyone, I promise.
As long as it doesn't eat the competition.
I can't promise that.
You don't have much control over your Jello.
It behaves as much as I do.
And if you were in my spot,
That would not be reassuring.
Dusty thinks about this and says, I'd
Mm,
Die.
mm.
So, what are you guys doing?
All right, we start heading to the university. Not gonna figure out who we're trying to give it to until we get there.
Just go around, ask people. Hey, do you know where a magic person who eats shards are? Hey, do you know where a
Well,
magic
I-
person are?
I am
Eats
perfectly
Go
shards?
ahead.
sure that this
Go ahead and just give me a
university has some sort of
general.
help
You can
desk.
either give me an investigation or a charisma check.
I'll give you an investigation check.
Yeah, I'll give a charisma.
All right. After a little bit of asking around and harassing a few of the students, you're going to be honest, you are kind of guided to go across the bridge into the university kind of campus proper, and ask with the front desk attendant, and they'll kind of lead you exactly where you need to go. And as you head across the bridge itself is very large and sturdy. It's about 50 feet across, from kind of railing to railing. On one side is a large, very sturdy, stained wood notice board with a lot of various club kind of advertisements. There's a lot of academic info, classes, stuff like that, just kind of pinned on this large board. And on the other side is a lot of various small shops vending various supplies that students might need. There's some clothing shops. There's a shop selling bags, scroll holders, wand holsters, just various sorts of academic equipment, notebooks, paper, all at fairly high prices. But you kind of make it over the bridge and start to head into the large dome of where is it? The Lareth Hall, as you see, is engraved on the outside, and a very shiny gold-plated sign. And heading inside, the dome itself is just almost completely empty. The ground is inscribed with a large decorative art piece. And as you kind of enter in, you see that there is a kind of a main reception desk, kind of a general sort of routing thing, almost the same as the train station. It's a large kind of circular desk in the middle, containing quite a few students, kind of either asking questions, dealing with kind of location services, and just trying to find their way around. But you can see along the outside, there's a lot of these gigantic staircases that lead downward, kind of scraping the edge of the interior of this tower, and leading into the lower levels where you think the majority of the class spaces ought to be. And the very nice lady at the front desk, the one that is actually open for you guys, here's your plea to help you guys find the guy offering these rewards. And kind of nods and gives you very detailed directions, kind of writing them down on a scratch piece of parchment. As you guys try to follow those directions to your best, go ahead and give me a survival check or any sort of navigation check that you think would help.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Are you eating the paper?
No, Dusty's eating something else that's crunchy.
What are you eating?
More dragon shards and more
Are you?
Yes, I've been slowly marking them down bit by bit. This is now his 7th pound.
Oh, good
I'm gonna
lord.
slap it out of your hands.
Are you doing it like in the open?
Well, he was doing it as they were walking around and caressing their students. Notice he didn't put a roll in. He was just munching.
Fair enough.
Alright.
Hey, they're not paying attention to him. It's popcorn time.
I don't think my passive perception is high enough.
Fair enough.
And I don't know these streets.
Oh, perception. That would have been a much better thing to roll.
All right. Thankfully, Yark is there to help you guide you through this labyrinth of hallways, circular rooms, and just classrooms.
With the assistance of a noon and his perfect memory.
Mhm. Eventually, you find your way down a few levels into into one of the side rooms, kind of adjacent to the what's marked as the Dazina Museum of Antiquities. And heading into the little reception space, or actually it would just be an office as you kind of knock. The door opens just automatically, and inside is kind of standing up from his desk, looking over, is a kind of frizzy-haired gnomish man. Ah, hello. Oh, you look like adventurer types. Have you brought something fun for me? Let's see. Kind of rubs his or he kind of cleans off his very thick-looking glasses with his shirt. Kind of puts them back on.
Yark's gonna gather up all the spell shards and say, "We heard you had a bounty out for battle-made spell shards out in the Moorlands."
He looks very excited. Oh, I did.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
He
Don't worry,
stops. He
that's not
stops
one
like rubbing his hand. He just looks at you.
Don't worry, that's not one of them. He's gonna gather up all the spell shards.
And is your friend? Is he sound of mind? Is he sound of mind?
Here,
He kind of
no.
whispers.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
not.
good. Shut up,
Absolutely not.
Is
You
he been
killed your
suffering
dog.
any ill
Shut
effects
up.
from it?
Yes, and so have we. And then he's gonna. How many spell shards did we get?
3.
I got.
Alright,
Yes.
cool. I'm gonna gather them up and give him up the 3. Normally, I can't hold all 3 at once, but I can with my new fancy gauntlet.
Mhm.
Upgrades.
He kind of gives a little interested look towards you, Gauntlet, but instantly just focuses back on the spell shards.
Understandable.
I don't know what they are called inside of Inune's inventory.
Oh, jeez. Was he holding all of them?
He has a few of them.
I think I was holding one with the soldiers that I could see.
Here we go. He has 2.
Okay. So we
They're
do have...
specifically marked,
I have
thankfully.
1. Did we get 4?
Is it specifically marked as a battle mage spell shard?
No, it just says spell shard, but I don't know what else I would use it for. So I didn't have a spell shard before.
It might just be an empty one. Or you guys didn't figure it out correctly. Either way, I distinctly remember giving you 3 of the battle mage ones. So
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we had 3 because Zerth was holding 1 because he was the only one that could access it. And then I don't know about the other 2. I think Inune had 1, and
Inune had 2 in his
Inune
inventory.
had 2.
Alright, cool. We have 3.
Dusty crosses his arms. They have been awesome effects that I've been having. I've been on adventures in different worlds, and then I accidentally brought them back with me, and then they went back on their own. But I got some dolls.
He seems to be ignoring you at the moment, as he's very excitedly taking these spell shards, placing them on his desk, and he brings over what looks to be a large kind of a focusing lens on his desk, on one of these like swiveling arm contraptions, and kind of brings it in close and starts to look at it very closely, turning it over in his hands. There's a very strong ever-bright lantern just above the desk, illuminating all this, and he says, "Ah, these are all very good.
Tales of our endeavors proliferate.
Yes, these will do. These are genuine, I think." As he as you hear a very gentle kind of thumping from the room behind him as as another person enters very quietly, and this one is a kind of wearing a pair of robes typical for an academic is another warforged with a distinct kind of female look to her face and to her stature. The archivist himself is continuing to look down at the spell shards, and as he's looking down, he says, "I think my assistant will may help you in obtaining your payment." As he kind of turns to the side and says, he jumps in fright as he genuinely did not see her or perceive her to be entering. He just kind of, please don't do that to me ever again. Huh. I just accidentally turned off my monitor for a moment.
Oh, you were so scared.
Impressive.
I don't know how I do.
Immersion.
Yeah.
Deep
If I turn off my
immersion.
computer suddenly, you know why.
Deep
All right.
immersion.
We're good. We're okay.
Oh yeah, and before I forget, did you
Dova,
ever get
you
con-
don't only fumble your papers.
I fumble my entire monitor.
It's
All
so
right.
hard to so hard to work with these wing hands.
I know, right?
Bird
hands.
I don't know if I get confirmation. Does the Cur collar work?
It hasn't done anything yet.
All right, cool.
But
Hey,
I
I'm
mean, you
not
haven't
on
really
fire.
gotten that dirty so far, so I guess you're not sure.
Not being on fire is a huge plus. So
That's
it's
true.
Step in the right direction.
It has not harmed you yet.
It's working
As
so
the
far.
as the gnomish man is kind of gathering his breath, he just looks at her and says, three spell shards." He holds his chest. The warforged kind of nods. And can everyone give me perception checks, please?
Sure.
Also, who has the tent? I believe Yark, you have the tent.
I feel like I picked up the tent. Maybe. Nope, I don't have it.
Who the frick has it?
In noon?
Maybe. Oh, right. He totally does because it has one of his marks on it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. This is the point that I really wanted him to be here for.
Oh, great.
This is like the one point.
All right, guys, that was a great session. Let's pick this back up.
Any word on him, Zim?
No.
No. Cool. Well, Yark, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Alright.
I keep clicking AFK, but I haven't gotten far enough away from the computer yet.
So, Sinil and Zerth and Yark, actually, you would both notice on one of the pouches of the female warforged, as she kind of turns around, the cloak opens a little bit, and you can see a little utility belt. I mean, you can see that on it are a few symbols that look kind of similar to the runes all over Inun's cloak.
Zerth's gonna just take a long drag of his cigar and goes, "You have some interesting runic scriptures on those pouches."
She kind of stops as she's turning around. She says, "Is there something that I've dedicated a little bit of study to?"
What are they?
They're as he looks, or she looks over to the gnome, who is basically just absorbed into these spell shards. They're an expertise in magic, of artificery, and I noticed that your friend over there had quite a few of them on his cloak, but I was intending on speaking with him later.
Mm,
Do you want to
yes,
talk about it now, or do you want to get your reward and then figure out
he's
the details?
very interested, as am I, but he seems a little. The train has taken much out of him, so I say once he comes to, I would like to set up a meeting with you and us two to discuss such matters.
I would not be opposed to such a meeting.
Mm,
With the amount of inscriptions on his cloak, it seems that we may have much to learn from each other.
Good. I assume you'll be here for most of the time.
Yes, I am usually here for most of the day. I do get my weekends to myself,
Mm,
but sometimes I'm here with the Grand Archivist.
When my brother, as I pat Inun on his head,
He just kind of shivers.
that's understandable, valid.
Mm.
Comes to, we'll come back here to find you.
Of course. And, my name is Maria, by the way, in case you need to ask around for me.
I hold out to my hand. My name is Tozerth Kamen, Elder.
Is Elder part of your name, or is it a title?
It's more of a title. You can call me Zerth.
Very well, Zerth.
Father, am I
reaches
getting
out,
another mother?
Shakes a, and gives you a very, very strong, very cold handshake.
I return it, except for mine's warm.
Fair
No,
enough.
stop.
It's warm.
It's warm.
Oh, all right then. Never mind. Pardon me.
She turns away, gives a very slight bow, and heads towards the room behind this little office area. I mean, you can hear the shuffling of papers and the distinct sound of a pen or a quill scribing on a large piece of paper. There's a sound of a small fire being ignited, and the sound of a kind of a durable piece of metal being very firmly kind of thumped down on a wooden desk before she returns out with a very almost slightly shimmering envelope with a wax seal on it. You will find your payment enclosed within. If you find that it is not to the correct amount, please do return. But I will assure you that my skill in detecting forgeries is formidable. She hands you, as she holds out the envelope.
I'll go ahead
I'll
and
take the envelope.
yeah,
All right.
I'll go ahead and nod. Much appreciated.
The gnome actually kind of flinches a bit and looks up at you and says, "Oh, you stay here. Sorry." He's a bit absorbed in it.
Mm, I
If
can
you're
tell.
willing to learn more, you can come back and see what he's found. Whenever he's done, really. I suppose I can tell you more about it when we do eventually meet again.
I guess we'll start head out,
All right.
and we'll politely wait until we're out of the room before trying to count any of this.
What was her Warforged name again?
Maria.
Maria. Okay. Okay. Uh, are we leaving? I assume.
Yeah,
I assume, yeah.
Yeah,
As
let's
you head out, the envelope itself is precarious. I mean, you guys were expecting like a lot of coins, or like some like bundles of platinum dragons or something like that, but it's just like a piece of paper. It's flimsy.
She wrote us a check.
You'd think so. You're not sure though. Do you pop it open?
Yeah.
All right. Kind of work one of your claws under the wax seal, pop it open, and unfold, and you find a very large, very high quality banknote.
Neat.
Basically written out, and you see it's shimmering slightly, kind of a holographic effect. Yark, give me a history check.
How
What the-
wealthy do you need to be to get holographic paycheck
Zerk's
to flex on everyone you pay?
gonna look because I assume he's never seen this before.
You've never seen this before.
He's gonna look at it and just, what the fuck is
Yark, you've not.
I'm sure they've when I did the what's it called, the catering and stuff, they'd probably pay with these, but like I never.
You never really handled the payment side
Exactly.
of it. You were really just the operations side.
It's like when you open a Pokemon card and you have a foil Charizard. That's like what this is.
Yeah, but you see written on it is pay to the bearer of this 3,000 Galifars, written in exquisite handwriting.
Put it in the bag of holding because I'm really afraid something's gonna happen to it if I don't put it there.
All right.
Let's go find out what this is before I march back
think-
in there.
I think we need a bank. I don't really go to those, but I know the people who did the payment in my house went to those a lot.
What the hell's a bank?
It keeps your money for you.
Oh, it's that money house.
Exactly, but you need to
Yeah.
have money to get money from them.
Coin storage. Gotcha.
Dusty's eyes start to drift once more as he thinks, I need money to get more money. What?
I'm gonna look at the map to find like what any bank do.
All right. Looking at it, doesn't really say in particular which bank. But go ahead and give me a history check, as you or an investigation if you want to just pore over the map and try to figure it out.
Well, it's better than what I would have gotten had I rolled history.
It's not giving you much information, but it is saying that one of the other districts in the kind of upper section is Coronath, and that's kind of where it says a lot of big banks are. So
Okay,
with this amount of gold, probably go there.
I guess we're going to Coronath then.
Does it have on this note? Does it have the amount?
It does have the amount, 3,000 Galifars.
All right, so I shared something very relevant in both media sharing and the Echoes chat. This is one of my favorites of this guy's comics.
I will not touch it here.
Devastating. I will not want to know.
That's great.
money is hard.
It's just difficult.
Anyway, Let's go turn this in.
Yes. Do we need a sky coach or is it on the same plateau?
It's not on the same plateau. I mean, you could try to find a bank on this plateau.
But you probably need a bigger one for this
Yeah,
amount of money.
for this amount.
Alright, I guess we'll hail another cab.
All right.
Hail another boat.
Go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
$99.
Nice.
As you guys are walking out and heading towards a completely different sky coach like station, you see the same guy.
Hello there.
I wave.
Doesn't really
Hi.
notice you. He's currently just kind of standing, looking reputable.
Hi, how are you?
And as you guys get within basically hailing distance, he kind of looks over to you, instinctively kind of waves you over, and his hand kind of just stops. He clenches into a tiny little fist and says, "Oh, hey, didn't expect to see you so soon."
We've
Yeah,
just
we
missed
done.
you so much.
We're here
Well-
to spook you. We're here to spook you.
Well, you scared me a little bit. Anyways, where you guys headed? You guys headed... You know the price is already 2 sovereigns apiece.
Oh, I
The
forgot where we're
coin
going. I forgot
house!
where we're going.
No, you just say you're
I-
going to Coronath. I just say that.
So go in the corner. I said, I pat Dusty on his head and I say he means the bank,
Fair enough.
which is kind of weird because I think Dusty's a little bit taller than me.
I think I am.
I'm
You're-
2.5 feet tall.
I think I'm 3 something.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
3'7".
You know, having DeSoda is very expensive.
Yeah, it is.
I know you have to pay for 2
So it
tickets.
says every pet owner.
It's almost
That's
like
the
Animal
price
Companion.
you pay.
It's almost like Animal Companion Ranger. It just isn't very good. But I think yours is an
Hey,
edited, so
settle
it's
down.
probably better.
It would be better if Dova didn't nickel and dime us for everything.
Eberron is an expensive place to live.
Honestly, Eberron is more like the real life than any other place we've been to.
Like the state I live in. Tax everything. Tax us to live here.
Tax you to live.
Essentially,
All right.
I mean, pay money to get our money.
That's not how economics should work, but it does.
I mean, I can fly. I don't know about the rest of you guys, though.
All right. So, you guys ride to Coronath, the district of finance. Not really much interesting happens. Up here, a lot of the sky coach traffic is very kind of thin. Not a lot of numbers, but a very high quality of kind of private sky coaches. You see up above you still is the I'm not going to say what I was about to say. You see the Skyway. I was about to say something else. A collection of entirely floating towers, basically perched atop the clouds. A handful of personal airships and these very large airships kind of float around, either anchored or proceeding kind of through the city to continue on out of it and kind of continue on their journey. But eventually you do land, and after a very, very brief farewell with the sky coach driver, he departs, heading off to grab more business. But you are now on the tower that contains the Kundarak Bank, this gigantic, almost like temple-looking building. large golden sculptures of dragons perch atop the corners of this building. The sculptures themselves are at least 5 stories tall. You're not sure if they're made of solid gold or not, but they're at least plated in it, which is not cheap. The
Dusty
ground
would
here
like
is
to-
marble. The skies are clear, and the ground is clean.
I stare too long at the dragons. Something about them, man. I can't really.
They're just resplendent.
Yeah, I can't.
Dusty would like to look for people. Very large people. Larger than Zerth. Is there anyone?
Not really. In fact, a lot of the people around here are a lot shorter actually. A lot of them are dwarves, clad in very high quality clothing.
My gosh. People. The short people. Oh, I want to spook them.
Hey, Dova.
Yeah?
Real quick, I'm gonna put on my fine clothes. Wait. I'm small. It probably doesn't take
You
that
know,
long to change.
Just in the middle of the plaza, just strip
Yeah,
out, start pulling on new
There are definitely
clothes.
public bathrooms around here.
Yeah. You can find a public restroom. Very clean inside. They've got free soap.
Look, Sinnoh, I know you do that, but I'm a little more sophisticated than that.
Yeah,
I
he
get
was
changed to
raised
fine clothes.
outside with his dog.
'Cause
I
actually
wouldn't
have fine
exactly
clothes.
say raised outside.
Quick, Dova, give me a good description on how a kobold looks in fancy clothing.
I don't know, what do kobold fancy clothes look like?
I was looking more for like a simile or like an anecdote, but
Oh, I was
Um,
gonna say you have a suit made out of painted glass shards.
Well, I'm sure that there would definitely be a few non-precious gemstones kind of inlaid into the collar, and around like the shoulder blades,
I hear
and along kind of the breast lapel.
I hear the gemstone spinel is often used as a diamond substitute.
That's pretty reasonable.
No,
and
ruby substitute.
There you go. Fancy kobold clothing.
that's up to you if that's what you look like. Clothing-wise, maybe not attitude-wise.
Maybe the hat's quite a bit smaller.
All
You know,
right,
ditch the hat. I think I look better without the hat, but everything else looks great.
fair
Maybe
enough.
black instead of brown, though.
All right. As you look quite
Excellent
nice
picture, though.
coming out of the bathroom, you feel like you fit in a little bit.
Sentinel is
I
going
almost-
to accidentally trip and spill some mud on him.
Unfortunately, there is really no mud to spill.
It's too clean for you to do your antics.
Damn it!
It's very clean up here.
You don't have anything in your bag you should accidentally spill on me?
Well, now it seems like you want it, so...
I dare you.
Oh, hey! I've got this. I'll pull out my dwarven adamantine mug. Pour some water into it. I'm sure there's plenty of water available.
You
Sing
can
a
get some
small...
from the sinks, I guess.
Yeah, sing a small drinking chant and spill that on him.
All right.
You're very determined.
Go ahead,
However,
give me
you are
a-
spilling alcohol in the presence of dwarves. I'm not sure they'll appreciate that.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw, Sinnoh.
All of them in unison turn their head sort of.
The cur collar seems to be very powerful. As you see the mug fill with fairly dark looking ale, you just kind of nonchalantly just empty it at Yark, who's currently kind of continuing to adjust his brooch, and it barely touches him before instantly just shooting back out in the same direction. Sinnoh, you are just hit with just almost like an aerosolized spray of ale. It just kind of swirl, swirl, splash.
It vaporizes.
Oh gosh. You smell drunk.
And Yark, your ears are ringing a little bit.
He covers his floppy ears and says, "Gotta fix that." Dove, I said turn down the violent reactions.
It's still a prototype.
That's true. But this technology's been around for a while.
Portable form? Anyways,
Okay.
you guys are basically just causing a little bit of trouble, a little bit of commotion, and you're definitely earning the attention of a handful of the guards kind of near the front entrance to the bank.
I hope they saw every bit of that.
They did.
All right, time to go into the bank.
Some of them are laughing. All right. Inside is just gigantic, magnificent. About half of it is just empty space, leading up to the teller windows themselves. And there's a giant kind of metal, a series of metal bars leading from these, like 2-story tall tellers' offices, basically splitting the half of the interior of this temple-like room. Basically temple. Sorry, brain fart. But you can see that there's a row of tellers, about 10 of them, most of them serving rather wealthy-looking clients. Other clients are looking kind of middle upper class, but definitely a bank with enough pockets.
Okay, cool. I guess we'll wait in line.
All right, there isn't a line. Seems you
Oh.
came at a good time.
Sweet.
Convenient.
As the prim and proper female dwarf behind the will look to be either brass or gold-plated bars, kind of looks at you, hands folded in front of her, and says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hello.
How may I
I'd like-
help you?"
I'd like to cash in this check that we got, and then I'm gonna pull it out of the bag of holding.
Very well. She grabs a check from the little kind of tray area.
I gotta really reach up to put it up there.
She unfolds it, looks at it, and kind of folds it back up and heads to the to a small kind of artifice located on a desk. Kind of passes it over the surface, and you can see a small series of gemstones that kind of light up, kind of flash a few times. She folds it back up and says, "How would you like the payout to be, denomination-wise? I can offer banknotes. I can offer coinage, and any sort of combination of platinum dragons, gallifars, or in case you would like lower denominations, we can offer those."
Most people in the city have probably have changed for platinum dragons, right?
Depending on the place that you go to, maybe. In the upper sections, definitely. In the lower sections,
Okay, so you said we had 3,000, right?
Yep.
So split between 6 people. That's no, 5 people. DeSoto does not get the money.
neither does blue.
I know, but I was counting
you
the portraits up top.
Ah.
That's like 600, right?
3,000 divided by 5, yeah. That'd be 600 each.
All right, cool. So 600 Gallifars. Let's just do half in platinum, the rest in half in Gallifars.
Sounds good to me.
Alright,
Yep.
So that would be 15 platinum dragons. And then 1,500 Gallifars. And Gallifars are quite small, about the size of a thumbnail. Oh. What was that?
So how much did we get?
600
Oh.
each. So, like, 30 platinum and 300 Gallifars? Each?
Three platinum dragons. Each is worth 100, remember?
No, I
Right.
didn't.
Yeah.
Each
Alright,
of
so-
you... Here, I'll open up Inun's and do his for him.
So we each get three platinum dragons or whatever they
and
are.
300 Gallifars.
Yep.
Cool. Sinnoh's
three-
going to hold out his hand to Yark. My money back, please.
I don't remember how much I got from you.
Did I give you other money?
I don't think so.
I'm more
So
referring
it's-
to the 10 that I had to spend for your license to carry.
Oh, I completely forgot about that already. 3, no.
So you get 290.
And
Well, I already
3
put
platinum.
it. Wait, are we splitting it with the party, or should I be adding it to my own sheet?
Add it to your own sheet. I just
Okay.
wrote it down the party sheet to keep track of exactly how much there was.
Okay, so I just edited it on my sheet then.
Wait, all of it or?
No, each of you get 3 platinum dragons and 300 Gallifars.
I was like, I already added that. Am I not supposed
Yep.
to?
I'm just writing it there to keep track.
Okay,
And I'll delete it once you guys all add it.
I've already added mine.
Dusty, you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright, cool.
Alright, cool.
And that would be
That's it.
everyone, because I took everyone in.
I say thank you so much.
Of course. Please have a nice day, and blessings of Kolkaran upon you.
Mm.
And we're done.
I think it's... Yeah, Kolkaran. And, Zerth, you would know that that's the, one of the sovereign hosts, and he is the, sort of, patron spirit of, wealth.
I nod and go as well to you.
All right. As she very politely waves to the very wealthy-looking aristocrat behind you, as he kind of steps forward.
Yes, we're leaving.
All right. As you guys head out. Now in the open air, the evening sun's starting to set in the distance, and the dizzying heights below you. Do any of you actually look over the edge?
No, because I probably did that the first time, and I know not to do it again.
Hmm.
I would, because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
Quick,
Valid.
I'm obviously going to keep my money in my bag of holding. Probably will not get stolen. I'm going to go see if I can get food. I'm listening, but I probably won't be able to say anything for a bit.
Okay. As you
in the-
guys see Zerth kind of curiously go over to one of the railings, kind of put his hands on it and look over the edge. And you see him kind of get a little bit unsteady on his feet. As the heights below just kind of stagger you for a moment. You've never been around this much like height differential before.
Mm-mm.
This time it's different. I mean, you were above the airship, you were on those sky coaches, but now that you're kind of standing, on firm ground and looking down, it's just kind of overwhelming. And a sense of vertigo suddenly overcomes you as you start to tip over the edge.
Oh shit.
And everyone would see this happening.
Ugh.
Do I grab
Finnle
him?
will
I'm gonna
dash
grab him.
over and try and
All
grab him.
All right, you guys would definitely manage to grab. Actually, that would, with his weight, you guys would definitely need a
I pull the whole party down.
just
TPK by
a
Gator.
strength check.
Okay. Come on, Monk. Do it. Do it, please.
Uh-oh.
I'm taking everyone with me.
Help. Help.
What a moment for Yark to be gone.
to try and grab onto anything on the way down, I guess.
All right, give me a moment.
God,
We're going to the table. As you guys skittering, your claws skittering across the marble surface.
I'm gonna
Hold
kill
on,
the party.
Hold on.
Are
I heard. I don't know if it's gonna help, but I'm gonna use my my gauntlet's 25-pound mage hand to try to pull him back without putting myself in danger.
go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Ooh, hold on. Never mind. Better yet, I run up, pat Zerth, and cast levitate on him.
All right, so let's look at the spell for levitate. Are you going to be casting it on Dusty and Sinhal as well?
No, I'm pretty sure Zerth has enough weight and inertia to him to carry them with levitate. Wait, how much does Zerth weigh?
Oh, Zerth weighs a lot.
Mhm.
Well, how
I
much?
am. Okay, I am a.
I need a number.
You
Don't-
want to know? Gator weight?
Yes, I need a number.
I'm a hefty of 450 pounds of pure reptile.
All right, in that case, I will pull Sinnoh back with the mage hand. Dusty can probably fly, and levitate works from creatures up to 500 pounds.
Hmm.
Okay, so then I'll have to catch Sinnoh.
I'm hoping I managed to grab the railing or something.
And like I said, I am trying to pull it back with my mage hand gauntlet. 25 pounds worth of force isn't nothing.
Okay, I was thinking of a different spell. I was thinking of Tensor's floating disc, which does not deal with large height distances very well.
Yeah.
As
Oh,
As
why
Zerth,
thank you, Power Stone.
You're something doesn't feel right. As you start to pitch forward, you feel claws in your back starting to pull you back, but it's not enough. As you tip forward over the edge, you're flailing around trying to grab anything, and you realize you're not quite falling, but you're over this vast chasm. And you hear the shout of some guards behind you as they're starting to rush over to help.
Thank you.
So
I like
then,
to imagine that was a very burly male dwarf in full plate armor.
I mean, you can't really tell due to the full plate armor, but it is rushing over to help, reaching instinctively into a pouch on their belt.
Yerk's going to, with his arms still held out, just. That was
Alright.
a very big sigh.
As Zerth, you are still kind of somersaulting end over end.
I wave my finger toward. I do the come here finger motion, and have him start levitating toward me.
All right.
I
Alright.
wonder what I would have rolled.
so Sinnoh's fine, and Dusty did not go over the edge. And
Well, even if you did, you can fly.
yes, I did, but I want to know if I
Oh.
need to chase something falling.
Hey Dova, I just rolled just for giggles.
Yeah.
I got a 1.
That would have been death.
So that would have been terminal velocity.
That would have been you fell until you couldn't fall anymore.
A meaty gator cracking down.
All
I don't
right,
think
so
you have enough to
I
keep
told
it.
as
you.
you are,
I
as you
told
slowly
you didn't
levitate
belong
back,
in the sky.
you can see the dwarvish guards who are currently reaching into the pocket are all holding kind of small, what look like silver tokens. And Yark, you would actually recognize what these are. These are
They're
actually
featherfall tokens
exactly. These are fairly common here, actually,
for this exact reason.
for this exact reason. As Zerth, do you let him down gently once he's safely over solid ground, or?
This is a new spell for me. I haven't really gotten to that part yet. I just know holding concentration and letting go concentration.
Technically, it floats gently to the ground.
Okay. Well,
That's up to you, though.
I drop concentration, and whatever happens, happens.
All right. As the concentration ends, he kind of slow, kind of whooshes down to the ground, slowing down for a brief second before being deposited, maybe dropping a few inches. Zerth, you are a little bit winded.
I look at the guards and say, "Any idea where we can
Father.
buy those tokens?"
Father, I told you, Father.
I
I
think
told
you
you.
might need them.
I will not be defeated by height. Damn it.
They give you a few recommendations for shops. There's a handful per tower.
I
Thank
lay
them
back
greatly.
on the bridge, just breathing heavily. I think I lost my cigar. I don't see it. I don't taste it.
You ate it. You swallowed it.
That seems valid.
You're not quite sure, but you do taste a little bit of smoke.
Just like
Ugh.
gasp, and it's gone.
I'm gonna light up another one.
All right.
Father, I will push you.
As the guards kind of go back to their previous positions.
Dusty,
You will not
I've
win,
got rope
Conrad.
here. We can tie it around him, and you can hold on to it, and keep him from the edge.
It seems like a role reversal, but I guess if it keeps him alive. Oh, oh, I understand now.
See, son, there's a life lesson in everything. Sometimes I'm the lesson. Don't be me.
Have I become a father? At last, now I am the dad.
Don't let the power go to your head.
I have acquired dad.
You need to tell a dad joke now.
Boy, it sure rained cats and dogs yesterday. You know this one.
That was very catty.
No use.
I think I read that joke in a book once. It was pretty terrible.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That was a dad joke, so
I
you
also-
know,
I also had a joke. I don't
100%
know.
guaranteed.
I think everyone missed the. Never mind.
Dad jokes are bad. End statement. End statement.
All right, cool. Let's go to a nearby shop and buy some of these tokens.
All right. As you start to navigate the various lifts and bridges, these lifts, by the way, are gigantic, basically floating discs with a very large railing on either side, and kind of a gate attendant. These discs are actually about 50 feet across and move like giant elevators going from the top of the towers all the way down to lower districts. But the upper district ones never tend to go into the lower district ones. The furthest they go down is into like the middle district.
I hate to interrupt you, Dova.
Yeah?
So I hate to interrupt you, Dova, but we got more art from Power Stone in our chair.
Heck yeah.
I am here to spook you.
It's great.
It's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, Crane. Zim doesn't have something that reads out things like that. Crane says, "How do you make holy water? You boil the hell out of it."
Ugh. That was awful.
Another streamer that that Creighton, Powerstone, and I frequent, they have a thing where if you donate 100 bits or more, then they have a voice that reads the message out. So we get a robotic voice reading out puns. It's pretty great.
Yeah,
good.
I'm always just worried about what they might choose with something like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's valid.
Same reason I don't have a song request feature. Well, the song request also is because of copyright law.
Mm-hmm.
That damn copyright law.
Anyways, you guys start to head down from Coronath and kind of head down a little ways and kind of make your way into the trade fair district. And this is the nearest one that he recommended. This is one of the market districts, and it is very crowded. There's a lot of shops kind of built into the walls here, and almost entire floors of towers taken up by maybe one large shop, tailoring to basically anything. And the saying for Sharn is, if it can be bought, it can be bought in Sharn. They're one way or another, whether legal or illegal, you can buy pretty much anything you want.
Oh
It is
no,
packed.
there's one item that Dusty has been seeking for a very long time.
Ancient lore
So-
dictates.
I need to make a will save to see if he doesn't run off, just like tearing through these stalls. Bad news, folks. Bad news.
Uh-oh. Let me check something real quick. And I actually, let me share. Oh, did I share the wrong one? No, I opened up the wrong one. All right. Let me see exactly what kind of shops are here. All right. So there is just a lot of colorful signs, colorful tents, the shouts of these salesmen just kind of rise up from the general din of this crowd of people shopping, and you can see all sorts of people in here. There's a handful of adventurers, kind of like you, but most of these are just general people from who live in Sharn, who work in Sharn, and are just here doing their shopping. There are a lot of food vendors, a lot of specialty ingredients, a lot of spices, a lot of cloth, and various vanity items. And there's just a lot of smells, a lot of perfumes, a lot of sweet spices, and just kind of roasting meat and bread and all sorts of fun stuff.
Oh my god, I can eat the air. Oh my god, I can eat.
It's just so much.
Reaches into his pocket. There is one thing I can eat, though. No, I already ate a pound today.
But looking
Oh.
around for a little bit, you definitely managed to find a stall that is selling some small magical trinkets and essentials, kind of like touristy stuff, as well as these Featherfall tokens. And each one is going to cost... everyone go ahead and give me a haggling check.
What would be the
Or
haggling
let's get-
check?
Does
Would
anyone
that
want to
just be historical?
especially become like the haggler.
What
In
what
RPGs, this is normally
skills?
determined at
This would be a charisma-based skill. It depends on your approach.
Because I have proficiency in persuasion.
I thought you
wanna-
had proficiency in intimidation.
You want to try haggling? The vendor himself is a he's a rather wiry-looking human man with a kind of slick black hair. And he's definitely eyeing you up, but he's trying to make it look like he's doing other stuff.
Yeah, I'll haggle.
All right.
Really? I thought I'd be the one haggling because I don't need these things.
I mean,
Like,
if anybody
Selling
wants to do
feather
it.
fall tokens to the bat. This better be a good deal.
Good evening, folks. Looking to buy some of my products? Anything catch your eye? What you looking for? I'm sure we've got something for you.
Specifically looking for featherfall tokens. We're visiting Sharn.
Yeah, fair enough. I can see that you're looking a little bit on edge, friend, as he looks at Zerth.
Well, I'm on edge right now. It wasn't so much a couple minutes ago.
Oh, that'll happen to you here.
It was
sure to
much
stock
more on
up.
edge a few moments ago.
Willing to offer each one for a low price, 65 Galifars. I'll lower the price a little bit for you folks.
65. Are they one-time use or are they permanent while within the city?
One-time use. If you're looking for a permanent one, I think I know a few guys who could help you out, but they're going to be a lot more expensive. And in my experience, I only fall down a handful of times after in a full lifetime here. Really, I think just an investment like that's not going to pay off, but these, a little bit of insurance.
Well, seeing how this city is based on stacks, and the railings seem to be not as sturdy as you would think.
He kind of eyes you up and down, judging your weight, and just kind of gives a nod.
65 seems a wee bit high.
Oh, I can't disagree more. These are high quality, perfect, and will always function. I guarantee it on my life that you go off and use one of these, you will end up on the bottom just fine. I can't
Well-
guarantee that you'll end up somewhere nice, but you won't be turned into paste. I think
Well-
that's the goal.
Were we
mean-
given recommendations from other shops from the guards, though? Dusty doesn't even realize what's happening, but he's thinking, like, hey, was this one of those shops at all?
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, Zerth.
Zerth is just gonna say, well, soda's just falling freely without a token. You're safe for one time.
He hold on. Can I please? Thank you. He kind of strokes the little goatee he has. Says, "Well, I guess that you're right there. Now here's a deal for you. Now I know you see all the crowds around you, but I'll tell you what. We've got limited stocks
bulk
here. And
order.
that's right. And I see that you've got well, all in all, 6 people with you. Tell you what, you buy 6 tokens, I'll knock the price down to 60 each. 6 for 60. How does that sound?
That
How
sounds pretty good.
Hmm.
You know, a lot of things I see people do in D&D is haggle until the guy gets mad, and I don't want that to happen.
He's Zerth's just gonna take a long drag on his cigar. How about 6 for 55?
kind of things. He says, 6 for 58. That's the lowest I'll go.
Mm. 6 for 57.
Why? What is the
It's principle.
Sounds like a deal to me.
Nah, hold out my
Holds out
hand.
his hand. All right, he shakes your hand.
Yeah.
All right. Give me-
you hold out your hands for payment. You just like mash hands together.
You just fist
It's
bump.
the same hand.
Father, is this transactions?
All right, that's going to be 342 Gallifars.
How about everyone just takes 60? So we'll buy each of our one for each of us.
57 for each.
Okay.
So everyone take away 57 Gallifars, and I'll grab the item for you real quick.
Okay. Dusty takes a token and says, "This feels redundant. This feels redundant."
Hey, what if your wings are tied up and you start falling?
I'm a monk. I have slow fall.
I'm gonna actually buy 2 just in case.
No, well, in that case, take Dusty's. Because he's not going to use his if he has innate slow fall.
Did Dusty buy one though?
He says 6 for 6. Or 6 for 6.
We're getting the bulk deal. We all pitch in for it, but he just hands you his this feels redundant.
He's going to buy a bunch anyway.
I mean, I'll buy. I mean, if he's not gonna, I mean, we're still spending 2 amounts of 57 anyway, so I'll buy the 2. So
Okay.
Dusty's sharing.
All right, give me one moment. I gotta go to the bathroom, like real bad.
Yeah, I gotta grab a drink real quick.
All right.
BRB.
Short, very
Hey,
short.
we'll do a short intermission here, guys. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you, Harbis. I know you're gone now, but thank you so much for that raid. Welcome, everyone. I'm Razim. We do D&D 4 nights a week, most weeks. Sometimes D&D has to be canceled for various reasons, but you know. Either way, there's a stream here Monday through Saturday. I'm going to switch over to our intermission now, and we'll be back ASAP. All
Yeah,
right, everyone, we are back. Thank you all so much for your patience there. We just needed a small intermission. Let us continue.
All right. So, picking right back up where we left off. You guys had finished buying your Featherfall tokens, and I put the item in the chat. Make sure that you have one in your inventory, or make sure that you add it to your inventory at least.
Zerth takes 2 because he's a very heavy boy.
I am. And considering I looked over the edge and he defies and will win against gravity, 2 may actually be very awesome. I added it to my inventory and now I can't find the stupid thing.
Is it identified in your inventory?
No, it's not.
All right, let me.
It came up as a small metal disc.
Oh my gosh, is it not identified? Oh Christ!
I got
Why
2
would you
other.
do this?
I also got 2 other items
Here's
that aren't
to
identified either.
new beginnings.
Which one?
The very first one, the brightly colored bag, and I think the graceful split armor.
Oh yeah, you didn't. You never actually got this identified.
Nope.
Forgot about that one.
I don't even remember. I just have stuff in my inventory.
And which one wasn't?
I think the graceful split mail, which is farther towards the bottom under the worn category.
Yeah, you'd be able to have this identified. There's really no.
Do you remember where we got that split mail though?
I do not actually.
I don't either.
Noon helped pay for it.
Oh, you might have bought it then.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, what are you guys doing?
Oh no, that's how Zerth lost his cigar.
Sinnoh would like to go find... Well, he's gonna tell the party. I would like to go find a, blacksmith or leather worker of some sort for the armor still.
Armor?
I pull up the map and look up any leathersmiths or, I guess, working districts.
All right. You could probably find some in this area actually. If you, I mean, you might. But there are quite a few like actual crafting districts. Let me see.
Well, according... I mean, there's the Copper Arch, it looks like.
That is going to be rather expensive, since the Copper Arch is on the it's on the upper levels. Let me. You can go to Dava Gate. That's only a few towers away.
Where is that? Which level?
That's going to be on the middle level. It's the same level that you guys are on right now.
Could you share that map, please?
Sure.
Zerth would
The
suggest.
middle Sharn should be.
And
Public.
Alexa is throwing a fit for some reason.
Zerth would suggest, now that we got our finance, let's find an inn and maybe have a rendezvous point.
Honestly, I'd say in a city like this, we should stick together.
It's probably not a bad idea.
At least,
That's up to
at
you.
most, we split in 2 groups, but
I was thinking more in case if we get lost.
that's not a bad idea. Yeah, let's go find ourselves an inn, and then we can go get DeSoto fitted.
All right. There's actually a decent amount, not really a decent amount, but a handful of inns inside the trade fair districts. They're of fairly average quality.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
And is it... Oh, Davigate. There it is. I see it now.
Yep.
All right, then, yeah, let's find ourselves an inn.
All right. How selective are you going to be with, like, which one you go to?
I say cheap.
Cheap.
Sinnoh's happy with mid-range. Not super cheap, but
All right.
Like,
definitely not
not necessarily,
high
like-
end.
Yeah.
All right. You start to kind of look around, looking at some of these taverns, and you do find one that's very simply named Market's Edge, and it's kind of near the edge of the market. It has a nice a few rooms with balconies, kind of overlooking the market and overlooking the sort of large central plaza that the flat top tower has. The bar itself is attended by a house Galanda. You can clearly tell, Yark at least. Go ahead and give me a D100 roll to see if you've met this halfling before.
What's the tavern's name?
The Market's Edge.
$57.
All right. You haven't met this halfling before,
Aw.
but you do know that she is a member of House Galant. You can tell, due to the telltale kind of mark of a few kind of swirls on the inside of her forearm, leading up to the palm of her hand and kind of to the fingertips. But she kind of greets you warmly. She's rather tall for a halfling with this kind of frizzy red hair. Hey, come on in. Rest your feet by the fire. I know
think
it's
I've got a clean mug around here somewhere.
Fuck you.
Hey, you started it.
That's true. It's just rolled right off the tongue. It's just instinct at this point. It's burned into my mind. Looking to stay the night? I know it's getting a little bit dark out there. Was that a Skyrim light? It's instinct.
Yes, we
The
are.
first one was, yes.
I know the first one was, but the second one probably wasn't. I hope not. There's a table full of half orcs. Some of them with their straw hats kind of worn around their neck, the actual straw hat kind of covering the back of their neck and their back. But they're having a little drink, getting a little bit loud at times, but otherwise, the interior is nice and warm, kind of dry. Interior smells faintly of wood smoke, as well as just that sort of normal tavern smell, but a lot less like strong and intense than ones out in the countryside. And I think I can probably get rent prices out of this. Out of this source book. Let me check.
Nice.
Communication prices, companionship costs. That's wow. All right.
Well,
Cool. Well, there you go. No, this is that kind of a book. Anyways,
oh, you're so surprised.
yeah, this is getting dumb. All right. That's per month. I don't want that.
Is this the one you sent me?
No, this is a different one.
Oh,
It doesn't list it. Well, this is dumb. My opinion of this sourcebook has dropped significantly. Legal aid. Here's services. It just literally just says lodging. Fuck you. I'm sorry.
Damn you, Sourceborg.
Damn this sourcebook. Entertainment, education, dining, commerce. Well, son of a bitch. Yeah, I can't find it. I thought it was in here.
I mean, I know it's in the player's handbook.
If you have it for a month, just divide by 30.
That's fair.
If you're that desperate for it to be what they have.
28 technically. Because you know, the months are 28.
Okay, then divide by 28. Just get on with it.
Here we go. Oh, no. Never mind. So, should cost. Give me somebody give me a D4 roll. I'll take the first one. All right. Wow, that actually evens out to about. See, as she kind of hollers out. Rooms are well, we got a special going on. 22 sovereigns a night.
That's actually pretty good.
Was it 10 sovereigns to a Galifar again?
Yeah. So it's about 2.2 Galifars.
I'll just go. Does she seem busy? I know this whole area is pretty busy.
She herself doesn't seem too busy, but her various barmaids and servers are kind of bustling around. It is getting towards that busy point of the evening where people start to find places to go to either drink or just kind of stay the night. And you did notice that there was an escort outside, and that kind of made you a little bit nervous as you kind of hurried by.
An escort?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Roll the D4 for me.
Apparently, both me and Yark are a little too innocent to get that.
Yeah. Go ahead and somebody give me a
3.
Female.
So I'm going to. I feel like Yark would probably do this at every inn he stays at. He would offer to help out in the kitchen if they need it, especially now that she's about to be super busy. And I'm going to. I probably don't need my whole identification page. Oh, I have the ring. I'll show her the ring. Say that I'm a member of the house, so I can.
Hey, good to see you.
Do you
And
have a
you know for a
barrel?
fact you have never met this woman in her life, but she gives you a nice little warm hug and is like, "Oh, the road must have been tough. Here, come on in."
I hug back because I love hugs. Also, I was going to mention this, but you might have already done it. Yark most likely has a bit of a reputation
What
among
sort
the
of
house.
reputation?
Well, I don't know if you've noticed by now, but a lot of his inventions tend to
Explode.
self-destruct, clean themselves for good.
Dismantle.
Like I would say 1 in every 6 inventions improves the speed and quality of service drastically for like a good period of time. The other ones and destructively. Not all destructively, just some don't work. Maybe 1 out of 5 explode.
You think she might have heard about your escapades? As she's going to say, "Oh, thank you, hon, but I don't think we could. I don't think there's room for another cook in the kitchen right now.
But Dola,
Just
they still use
sit back and relax."
They still use
Yark,
that automatic.
do you have a barrel?
I don't care how many explode. How many explode? They still use the ones that work.
She's gonna very politely decline your offer in a very nice, very sweet way.
His ears are gonna droop.
Uh,
Okay. Oh wait, this one doesn't have ears. His tail's gonna droop.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot I'm not kobold.
Yeah, I can tell you've been on the road for a while, so just relax for the night, all right? We can talk more about you getting any work done tomorrow.
Well, at least I got a hug out of it. That's nice.
You say that in character?
No, that's out of character, but
Okay.
he's so glad he got.
So, all 5 of you then? 6?
Yes.
She looks at the wolf.
Yes.
All right. Let me do some quick mental math. 6 times.
You
Should
said
be
it was
100
like 2 Gallifars and 2 Sovereigns, right, or something like that.
Yep, that should be 132.
I'll take the 22 from mine.
All right.
You said how much total, and we're just splitting it up.
132. Yep. So 132 sovereigns, or 13 Gallifars and 2 sovereigns.
I'll throw in 6 Gallifars.
All right. Do any of you guys speak a halfling language?
no.
No.
I mean, unless they can speak Orin, no.
All right.
I know a lot of
I'll
languages,
check.
but not that.
Yeah, that's fair. Would it be under notes? No. Skills?
No creatures ever speak Draconic, and those that can also speak Common.
All right. She's gonna kind of holler something out towards one of the servers. Another. Now doesn't look like a dragon mark, but probably another member of the Galanda house. And she kind of hollers something at him. Not really yelling or commanding, but more just telling. As he kind of hurries forward and says, "I'll show you all to your rooms." Sorry?
No, I was just gonna say he follows.
Okay. And he'd show you to a handful of rooms, and these are very well furnished. They're actually individual. As you're heading up, he says, "And are you guys going to want to sleep in together or in separate rooms? I think we have a few single rooms open if you want to be separate."
DeSoda and I will take a room together.
Very well. And he kind of points you towards one of the open doors. the bed inside, very neatly made.
I feel like at this point, Zerth and Yark tend to sleep in the same room simply because they probably keep the heat on all night.
Mm-hmm. Along with Dusty. Unless Dusty wants his own room.
Nope, Dusty can share.
So we got the 3 Caimans sharing a room.
All right, and who's going to be taking Inun?
You know what? He can bunk with us.
Oh
He's-
gosh, so many people in a room.
He's the uncle.
No,
He is the
he'll
uncle.
come in. He'll come to. He'll come into my room.
3 and 3
Alright.
makes sense.
Oh goodness, he's been hit by the. He is hit by the manifest sickness quite hard. Goodness.
Yes.
If you need any assistance, just let us know, and we can bring up some herbal teas. So we've got some salves that can definitely help with any sort of nausea that he will definitely have tomorrow morning.
That's much appreciated.
Wonderful. I think that's it. Let us know if you need anything. The bathhouse is 1 floor up. And the water is always hot. And let us know if you need anything. I think I
Is
said
it
that
fresh
before.
too?
Oh, of course.
My eyes light up.
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
Insight.
You're fairly sure he did not fully understand your question. Like the water's fresh. It's not stale.
Valid. His eyes still sparkle.
All right.
I need to go find a thing.
What sort of thing? Oh, sorry. That was in character. My bad.
Yes, no, but also, Dusty would have no idea where to go to find specialist sellers because he remembers, with a twinkle in his eye, that somewhere there was an auction for some great bracers that he wanted so very badly. However, he doesn't even remember the merchant's name. All he remembers is that he offered a contract to see advertisements for a discount.
Oh, well, then you probably need to do it in the Central Plateau. That's where they hold all the big auctions, up in the Aurora Gallery.
Maybe it's there. I'm going to the auction.
See, Dova, I did my homework.
Very nice. I was actually going to that same section.
Unless you want to go to the lower Dora, the very lower bottoms, and get some invalid items.
And what does that mean?
Ones the guards may frown upon.
I don't see what they'd have against bracers.
I still want to go to the get started on the work with the armor.
All right.
And you protection.
And you would be able to fairly easily head over and start to the nearby Dava Gate. And Dava Gate is full of various specialty shops.
What time of day is it, Dova?
It's fairly late in the evening. It's about 5-6 o'clock. So you are starting to get the lights outside are starting to dim as the ever-present glow from the ever-bright lanterns are starting to take over. And the streets here are very well lit. There's some dark spots, but otherwise people are still out and about, trying to finish up their whatever business they have. But life is kind of continuing on outside.
Oh, hey, Dusty.
Yes.
If you could pick any kind of accessory that you wouldn't mind wearing, what would it be?
A ribbon.
You got it. Hey Dova, I'm
Yeah?
going to go purchase supplies for a cur ribbon.
All right.
Do
Go
you remember
ahead
how much
and,
money it was?
What tier magic item is it?
It was common.
Common. Go ahead and
It
give me.
was.
Go
it
ahead
was
and give me a
definitely-
general charisma check to get good prices on all the items.
It was definitely only one work week, so can't imagine it being anything but.
Mm-hmm. All right, so and you see my message, Zim?
Checking. Yes.
Okay. So probably try to finish up real quick here.
We still got another
you-
hour.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that hour changed.
I mean, your server says it's still 9 o'clock. Or the virtual machine. All right, so
The server is in Canada, and I don't believe
they
they
don't do daylight savings.
Yeah.
All right, that would probably explain it. The total cost for all the various supplies would end up being 85 Galifars.
Oof, that's expensive. Okay.
Thus, you just think he's gonna
I'll
get a
take-
ribbon.
More platinums.
All right, and Sinal, you head to the nearby quarter to get some leather armor commissioned. Go ahead and give me a investigation check. Some of the shops have started to shut down, so you will need to hunt a little bit to find one that's still open and willing to do custom orders.
If he has
Alright.
to, he's willing to wait for better quality.
All right. You actually managed to find a shop. You find a floor of one of these towers, almost like the interior is almost like a shopping mall, and you managed to find a store specializing in armor for beasts. Basically, almost exactly what you're looking for. The shopkeeper, a very extremely hairy dwarf. Has a big, puffy, kind of reddish beard, and he will gladly resize and refit one of his sets of armor to fit DeSoto. It is
Perfect.
specializing in leather, but it also has heavier options available.
What sorts of options?
What's DeSoto's strength?
It is 12. Medium armor
he
would
has
be nice.
he has basically up to, or he has all the variants of leather armor, so leather and studded leather. He also has a kind of a set of half plate. So a set of interlocking plates meant to protect the most sort of vital areas. So kind of the main chest plate, and then the haunches, and just kind of the upper section of the legs, along with a kind of snazzy looking helmet. It's got a few spikes on it. Looks very, very brutal. But that one would go for 900 Galifars, and has to be specially fitted, specially made. So it would take a long time to get.
How long we talking?
For the full steel,
For the
looks
half
over at the
plate.
soda. Say a few weeks. Got a lot of back orders to work through, and with the time it takes to start on this, yeah, I'd have to devote quite a bit of time. I'd get it done by the end of the month, though.
Uh,
But see any of the leather sets on the wall that you like? I can get it refitted by tomorrow. Have it ready tomorrow morning.
so is it just the leather that he's got? None of the others? Well, the leather and the half plate one?
Leather and the half plate, basically.
But he'd still have to make the half plate.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping for something more along the lines of like chain shirt or breastplate kind of thing. Problem is pricing. We'll go with studded leather.
All right. He brings out a kind of a length of twine. Starts to unspool it from one of the pouches on his tool belt. Kind of starts to approach DeSoto and says, is he trained? Just want to make sure he ain't gonna bite me.
I will whistle for him to be calm and let the guy do his work.
All right. Yeah, basically measures loops around various parts of his body, trimming off the ends, and kind of leave putting his hands through the hoops and just kind of letting him dangle across his elbow as he continues to take measurement after measurement. And he ends with about 20 or so loops of twine kind of dangling from his forearm. And he kind of nods to you and he says, should have one of the harnesses ready for tomorrow morning. Swing by about 9 bells.
All right, will do. Thank you much. And how much do you...
The resize and service is free. You'll pay when you come tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you much.
Gives you a nod and starts to sort the various loops of twine on his forearm. All right.
Sinel will...
Is anyone else looking to do something special before they bed down for the night?
So what I'm gonna be working on the new cur ribbon, but before I even start that, I'm going to adjust mine a little bit, tone down the violence of the repellent.
All right, you can manage to definitely do that during your long rest.
I want things to just kind of slide off, kind of like
the
water on a dog's
hydrophobic
back.
All right,
Yeah, exactly.
and you can test it with like a glass of water from downstairs.
Exactly. Awesome.
Zer's gonna go look for the thing that I messaged you about, but he's gonna wait till everybody's asleep.
All right. Let me check something real quick.
Cut to a scene of him carefully lifting both Dusty and Yark off of him to sneak out.
All right. And then the dinner service is 3 more sovereigns.
Unacceptable.
Let's see. You said one's Galifar's is 10 sovereign.
Yep.
Okay, so I can convert some of this. And you said food is 3.
Mhm.
Okay.
So food and room for 2 nights would be 5 Galifars?
2 rooms for 5 nights.
No, a room and food for 2 nights.
That is correct.
Cool.
So
just-
basically per night. Yeah.
All right, so
All right,
Sinnoh's
so-
gonna head back and with DeSoda, they'll both go and bathe and eat food, then probably head to sleep.
All right. The bathhouse itself has quite a lot of mage rite work put into it, and is fairly similar to the one on the airship, but much smaller, much less extravagant. The baths themselves are of a very smooth laminated wood. But the water's fresh, it's clean, and it's very refreshing.
Nice.
It's nice to have an actual bath after so long on the road.
Oh,
Kind
yes.
of just relax in the steam.
Gator mouth open.
All right, so as night begins to fall, the city's outside quiets down a little bit, but there's still a good amount of activity. The windows do close very tightly and lock, muffling out a lot of the sound from outside, but there's still this ever-present din that can almost always be heard.
City noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, city noises. Well, time to go flying. Hey, Yar, can I look at that map again?
Sure, I pass him the map. Doesn't focus
Yeah.
on-
What quarter was it?
For the auction.
It's Everbray, right?
No.
No.
Would the auctions be open at night?
Probably not. And they probably
Oh,
only
no, he
happen
wait-
maybe once per week.
He waited too long.
I mean, you guys really don't know exactly when the auctions are anyways.
I'm going to go find out.
Right now, or?
It's night. He's a bat. It's
Fair enough. We'll probably just kind of hand wave over that since,
yes.
yeah, well, we
No,
don't really
nothing
wanna get
exciting
into-
happening over there.
Yeah. Really, the city has calmed down quite a bit, and you manage to avoid any trouble as you start to kind of scout around. You don't really see any open listings as to when the auctions are. Actually, go ahead and give me a investigation check.
Oh, okay. Investigation check.
Peering around, you actually managed to find one of the auction houses and find out that most of the auctions happen on one day every week. Basically, right in the middle of the week. Right on whatever the middle of the weekday is called. Give me a moment. I know it's somewhere.
It starts with a W, I think.
It does. So it's a WI something, and I don't remember. Well, shoot.
I don't remember.
We're on calendar. Weir. I thought it was
Weird.
every Weir, precisely midday.
Oh.
You don't know exactly how they track that, but they have some way of doing it.
Weir's not for 3 days, though. Dang. Well, I guess I better go home. There's nothing for me here. Because I can't punch the days out of my way.
Unfortunately,
Yet.
not. No.
Well, 3 days. We're gonna be in the city for 3 days. And he returns. Disappointed.
All right. So, Zerth, you're going to do that thing. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Sure. I have so many map windows open. Investigation.
All right. You end up in a very similar place to where Sinnoh was earlier on. So basically, Dava Gate, one of the floors in the marketplace designated for kind of animals. There's a few stables for exotic animals, but they're all closed at the moment. You can hear the very faint sound of animals resting kind of through the grate, but you can't really see any. There's a handful of these kind of open stalls with large areas covered in hay, likely where animals are either displayed or auctioned off.
I'm gonna quote unquote snoop around, just kind of look to see if I can see any animals.
Are you gonna try to go in?
It's closed, isn't it, or is it open?
It's closed. It appears that the animals are behind a kind of a locked gate. The gate itself has iron bars leading up to the ceiling, so it's kind of like a jail door.
He's
kind of large, slides open with definitely enough room for a very large animal to pass through.
Does it have is there like a sign of like business hours?
Not here, but generally around here, when there is natural daylight coming down from above, then those are the assumed operating hours.
Okay. Granted, he's not above breaking into places if he needs be, but it's not like I'm going to go save somebody or chase a evildoer through here. So he's not gonna enter if the shop's obviously closed and the doors are locked.
Chase evildoer.
But he will come back at first light.
All right.
He will actually come a few hours before first light and just wait on the step for it to open up.
Just like the dragonborn in front of the shopkeeper.
I would like to wait.
Wait for 9 hours?
Basically.
Press the select button, move the little control over. Yeah, so he'll do it in the morning.
All right. Oh, I think I saw an animal companionship one.
Ooh.
Oh no, that was just a example character. It's all right.
My
I saw the
hopes
table
were
again.
given
There
up.
he goes. All right. Same ward. That would be 5, 6. So each trip takes you about 20 minutes.
He's in no rush.
Yeah. And on your way back, you did notice that one of the patrolling Sharn Watch during the night did kind of give you a kind of a stern look before he continues on.
I unblinkingly just kind of ignore him. It's my pure white eyes.
All right. Morning eventually comes as the general clamor outside slowly starts to pick up again.
Back at the shop.
All right. As you guys are sort of waking up, getting a little bit of breakfast, and as Zerth is already just instantly outside. What's everybody's? Actually, everyone, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Including me?
Yeah.
I'm focused.
And Dusty, this will be with advantage, but you got it anyways. I need one from Sinnoh and DeSoda. All right. So Sinnoh and Dusty, you would hear this as there's a from somewhere down below. You kind of feel that it's somewhere towards the west. You hear a very kind of muffled, but still quite powerful explosion.
Gasp. Takes off.
All right.
He needs to hear no more.
Somewhere in one of the lower wards. You're not exactly which one it is, just going off of your knowledge of the map. You believe it might be Malian's Gate, or maybe Khalistan Gate of Gold, somewhere down there.
Well, time to fly.
All right. Well, I'm thirsty, but I'm not going to go take a drink until we're done. What are the rest of you doing? As Dusty with a burst of energy just leaps out the door.
Bye.
Getting breakfast, I guess.
How
Alright.
far away was I? Because I left earlier.
I'd say you're about halfway to Dava Gate, so you're in the kind of in the embassy district.
With my perception roll, would I have heard it?
No, you would not.
Yeah,
But you would see the kind of start to commotion as as quite a few flying guard patrols are starting to make their way down there. There's actually a full-on griffins, sort of griffin riders, kind of diving down towards that area.
He's just gonna sigh to himself. Why is it when I try to be alone, some shit happens? As he just begrudgingly he looks towards the shop in the distance, goes and reaches out his hand, just goes, "Soon, my love,"
Oh,
and just kind of runs towards the calamity.
All right. It's on the opposite side of the the chasm. You're in Dava's or the Dava Gate district. What you were hearing was basically kind of in the direction of Harith's Folly on the middle Sharn map.
Mm-hmm.
So towards the northwest, but down on the bottom level. I mean, you could probably stand on one of the tower balconies and kind of just watch what's going on.
You know what? Can I do that with my eye?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do you remember the rules for how long you can watch?
Yes, I do, because I think I have it actually written down. As soon as I find it. Let's see.
1 hour.
1
per
hour
day.
per day. Yep.
All right.
He'll Batman climb the nearest tower.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check. I mean, there's plenty of balconies to just kind of stand on, lean on a railing, and look.
Oh no!
Are we gonna be using one of them already?
We'll find out.
damn it, Dad! I just left.
All right. As you try to get a better vantage point, one of the bricks that you grab onto gives way, and you're unable to keep your grasp on it, and you start to fall.
Oh shit!
Try to
All right,
catch
I'm
yourself.
going to do the roll. You're gonna have to decide whether you use your token.
Is
Before
it
or
gonna...
after the roll?
Yeah, before or after.
I'm not gonna tell you what happens.
Ooh! Shit. Thing is, would Zerth, in a panic of falling, actually remember it?
Considering your what happened last time, I think you'd probably be the one to remember.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he'll use one token.
All right. As you kind of tumble off the side, you instinctively and you're kind of mentally trained yourself last night once you got it. You grab the pocket and toss it out, and there's a burst of feathers around you as you slowly start to descend. And you looks like you're actually going to land on one of the lower bridges.
I don't have enough tokens in the world for this city with him. It hasn't even been
Lord.
24 hours.
Go ahead and mark down one of those is gone.
Alrighty. Good thing I bought two.
All right, so Dusty, and the
Yes.
rest of you guys would start to notice that there's definitely something going on. There's a handful of people kind of running towards, not running, but rushing towards whatever vantage point they have of the area below, and you can see that there's a definite kind of smoke cloud rising up from the lower districts, kind of flowing in between the buildings and just kind of billowing up. And it's kind of less of a smoke and more of a very fine dust, clearly from an explosion of some sort. And as kind of the guard response is starting to swarm down there, Dusty, as you're starting to kind of fly down, trying to get a better look and trying to get in the action, but you are kind of held back by one of the Griffin cavalry, who's just trying to who's just kind of yelling over the roar of the wind.
I'll just
Stay
get here before me.
uninvolved. This is
But-
not your concern.
But explosions. There's people down there.
This is a Sharn watch duty, not yours. Stay safe.
Can I join the Sharn Watch temporarily?
No.
Damn it. It usually works.
See, he basically spurs the Griffin on to go faster. But he's going to prevent you from getting in there, as it were.
Dusty narrows his eyes and thinks, but what if I follow him?
That's up to you.
He will follow him. and then judge the situation. Surely defending a guard would be adequate if things got nasty.
As he notices you following, and he again kind of pauses midair. A quite large lance still strapped by the Griffin's side. And he's going to yell out at you. I told you, stay back. Last warning. I'm not going to give you another chance.
I'm a monk and it's dangerous. There's
I don't
explosions.
care. You're not licensed.
No.
Maybe one day
You're not
Dusty will
provisioned by the
understand
city.
how laws work. Dusty, you don't listen to the police officer, it makes you a criminal.
I can feel my father being like telepathically disappointed in me.
As I'm free falling.
Actually, would he see Earth falling?
You're fumbling to find the coin. I feel really disappointed in Dusty right now.
If only Dusty were around.
My arms are crossed.
You're a little bit too focused on the commotion to be able to kind of look behind you and notice him in the because it'd be very small in the general scale of things.
Dusty ain't happy about this, but he relents, thinking, "Alright, next time I'm just gonna be faster than I guess." Next time I'm just gonna be faster.
That's my boy. Outthink him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he can at least get to the ground, can't he?
You could probably get to the ground, yeah. And the ground itself, there's a lot of trash. A lot of the refuse from the city makes its way into this kind of canyon area. During the daytime, it is still quite dark from the shadows cast by the city, but you really don't have any trouble. And I don't think you would know about that.
No.
But as you get lower and lower, you do notice that there are quite a lot of rats, kind of scurrying out of the way, and you see a few scavengers. Very unpleasant looking folks.
Ooh. They probably didn't have anything to do with the explosion.
Probably not.
Let's not land on the ground.
Probably a smart idea. What's your Constitution modifier?
+4.
+4. You're still going quite strong, steam-wise, though you are starting to get a little bit winded and feel the burn in your wings.
Oh man, it's been a long time since I extended fly.
Yeah,
like this.
It's been a fresh while.
Whew, okay, I guess it's time to start heading back. I need to do my wing exercise. I've been skipping out. Still, Dusty is not happy, but maybe he can find like the edge of the border.
You can
The
probably
edge of
hang
the
out and try to watch from a distance. There's quite a few kind of perch points on the opposite side, kind of on the central plateau. But there's a genuine like hornet swarm of not really just the Griffin riders, but a handful of sky coaches, like paddy wagons. As you can see, quite a few guard patrols are being airdropped. Not like parachute, but kind of like a chopper insertion.
What place is this?
You're not quite sure. You kind of have a general idea of where it is. It's in the northwest corner, looking at Middle Sharn. It'd be where the kind of Harith's Folly meets the Tumbledown district, but one level lower, kind of on the ground.
I wonder what's there. People don't just blow things up for no reason, on accident. He thinks they are on purpose. People don't do that.
I don't think so. I mean, that's something a criminal would definitely do.
Gosh, I want to fight criminals, but there's too many law people. I can't be a hero like this. I can't be.
Be a vigilante.
Yeah, but they don't like that.
They're technically criminals.
Yeah, vigilantes are technically criminals.
Yeah, I can't be a hero and a criminal. That doesn't make
Don't
sense.
do it. Just let them deal with it, unless they. Besides, I mean, if they're gonna
Until
offer
they
us
start
money,
dying.
yeah.
Wait,
If they ask us for help, then we'll help.
but what if I apply? But then they can't tell me no.
They can tell you no until you're accepted,
Yes.
which won't be
Is this
tonight.
all an internal monologue?
He can just feel. He can just expect what people are going to tell him, and it's most oftentimes no. So then he'll argue with his own reasoning.
He's his own worst enemy.
He is.
He's
Anyways,
been taught that.
what are the rest of you guys doing? As Zerth, you very gently flutter to the ground.
I'm going back to the freaking shop. Nope, not worth it. I tried to find out what's going on. Nearly get myself killed. Nope. I see
Alright.
griffins flying. They can deal with that crap.
Fair enough. All right, so you head back to the shop, and are pleasantly surprised to find that it is actually open now. The shopkeeper is a rather well-groomed hobgoblin. Am I thinking of the right kind of thing? I think I am. Hobgoblins are the one that are kind of furry, right?
I think so.
Yes.
Just making sure. But the goblinoid population of Sharn is actually quite high. But he's quite well groomed, and wearing a handful of fairly common clothes, a tunic with long sleeves, and he sees you coming. He kind of tidies himself up, brushes his little sideburns down a little bit, and extends a hand to greet you.
I do the same to him.
Pleased to meet you, friend. What can I get for you? Looking to buy a beast?
Yes, I'm looking for a companion.
For a companion, eh?
Yes.
Well, you're looking for something rather familiar. Well, for you, anyways. Familiar for you. Got a couple of clawfoots. Came in yesterday from Talenta. Still kind of breaking them in, but I think they'll make fine companions for you. Not much for riding, though. A little bit big for that, I think.
Those are the raptors, aren't they?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yes, I'm a little heavy for them. I've seen them in action, and they're very nice. what else do you have?
Well, we got some fairly conventional beasts. Got a couple of hounds. No wolves right now, unfortunately. We had fresh out. Had a couple of guys from some of the trackers up in the Demon Waste bought all the wolves. Made off with them just a week ago. What about flying mounts? You look like a man with a quite heavy coin purse.
Something I'm heavy in some aspects.
What do you think about a gargoyle?
Don't think I've actually seen a gargoyle.
Never seen one up
Gargoyles are so
close?
cool.
Let me show you. As he brings you back into the stables. I want to check the intelligence on a gargoyle real quick. Whoops. All right. So, heading into the back, you see quite a nice selection of various beasts and animals. There's a section in the back dedicated to smaller animals. There's a few owls, eagles, falcons, a couple of smaller birds like a sparrow, or a very large parrot with a big kind of curved beak that looks at you with very intelligent eyes. There's what he mentioned before. There's a couple of clawfoot raptors. They're each in individual pens with harnesses, kind of keeping them tied down to the back. And in the last one, there is, true to his word, full-on gargoyle statue. Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Let's see, nature.
You've heard that gargoyles can imitate being a statue, but you've never really seen it in person, and frankly, this seems a bit much.
He'll make an appraising, like almost like a hiss, more like just very nice, and it's like, that is very nice, though that may not fit my current situation.
That's fine.
What type of hounds do you have?
Oh, we got tracking hounds. We got some rather mean guard dogs too. I mean, if you're looking for maybe a house pet, I do have one. She's a bit tame, a bit too tame for work.
He's gonna take a long drag. And he's just gonna have a flashback way back. And just kind of give a slight smile and say, do you have a hound of a fiery kind?
Kind of looks at you. I think I know what you're talking about, but it's just not in my inventory right now. I'm trying to... Can't recall if any of my associates have one right now. Go ahead and give me an insight check. Doesn't seem that he has any associates. Might seem that it's out of his reach.
Damn. The one time I rolled it, I don't have anything to re-roll that to.
Doesn't seem that he has any associates.
Shame. Would have paid a really good price for that.
I'd pay a really good price for that. Sees Dova rolls a dice.
What's that sound? It sounds like dice rolling on a board.
What are you talking about? It's never happened. That's alleged.
He's had 2 near death. No, 4 near death experiences. 2 of them alone in the city.
The shopkeeper is gonna say, the tamer is going to say, "Hey, well, it's always tomorrow or the next day. It's all up to you. Hey, swing by if you ever do change your mind about Robert here." As you guys pass by the pen with what's obviously, actually it's not even a pen. It's just kind of up by the front. There's like a kind of a chair that he sits in most of the time. And currently there's one of the clawfoot raptors, one of the more tame ones, currently kind of lying down in the hay, looking very tame and relaxed. And kind of next to the chair is a fairly shaggy looking dog. And you're not sure which one is Robert. You kind of just pointed in the general direction.
Hey, Dova.
Yeah.
How big is a gargoyle?
I believe a gargoyle is medium.
Really?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Why?
Just wondering.
Plotting. I'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully one may show up. But what is your price ranges?
Well, for one of the clawfoot raptors, my going rate going from a low end, about 1,000 Galifars. That depends on which one you want to go with. If you want to have tack included, maybe even a riding lesson. But the gargoyle itself, I think I'll only let go of him for 3,000.
Oh.
Siddle might swing by and grab one of those raptors with you tomorrow.
Yes.
I like raptors, what can I say?
Raptors are very nice. He'll go, if you get any word for the fire one, I will be staying at this inn,
Market's Edge.
for a while.
Oh, he's saying it in of this name.
Insert, I forgot the name. I'll be back tomorrow to check on, though you do have a fine selection.
Many thanks. I'll let you know.
Please do.
Meanwhile, Siddle is going
I'll
for the
tip him
armor.
a Galfar.
All right, he grabs it out of midair and kind of turns it around in his fingers, kind of nods. Before he actually. What's your passive perception?
13.
He tries to make it disappear into his sleeve, but you can tell he just kind of drops it behind his hand.
I will act like I saw it disappear.
Alright.
If he's gonna try to get me what I want, I'll try to be on good terms with him.
It's probably smart. Still, what were we doing?
The armor.
All right. Heading over to the shop again. You actually would. You'd actually get there when Zerth was in the back, so you would not see him. But you head in, and on one of the kind of beast mannequins is a set of armor that looks very closely sized for DeSoto. The rather beast man looking dwarf kind of sees you approaching, kind of waves you over. He says, "I think I've got something that you'll appreciate." He kind of heads over to the mannequin, starts unstrapping it from the mannequin. He holds up this set of armor with a little steel stud set into the very thick leather. He kind of gives it a few raps on the side, and it sounds solid. As he says, "I think this will do just fine, keeping him nice and healthy."
Certainly looks good. Mind showing me how to get it properly fastened onto him?
I think we should probably deal with payment first.
Absolutely.
All right. For the time and materials, as well as the armor itself, 55 gallifars.
For some reason, I've got a random platinum dragon up in my inventory, not in my treasure. I don't know why, but I will move that down.
Probably a smart idea.
I just randomly noticed that, and I was like, why is that here? Siddle will tip him an extra 3 gallifars.
All right.
Thank you much.
Not a problem. All right, his AC is now 12 plus his Dex mod.
Plus the magic.
What does that make it total?
20.
All right.
Yeah, 20.
He's got more AC than I do.
Yeah, but he's also got less health and kinda doesn't do a whole lot beyond being able to bite things.
Valid. Dog and gator tanking.
I'm not gonna have him tank. Plus, honestly, he probably would not be proficient in the armor, so I need to look up the rules on that. Sinnoh will be working on training him with the armor and helping him get proficient on it.
All right. I believe you might have disadvantage on dexterity checks while it is while you're not proficient. I think I have the page open right now. Armor proficiencies.
Looks like he has disadvantage on any ability check, saving throw, or attack roll that involves strength or dexterity. Oh, that's rough. But that's why I will teach him.
All right. Go ahead and give me an animal handling check to start to teach him how to properly sort of move wearing the armor.
I would ask the dwarf for some assistance on that, or possibly point me to a trainer specialized in helping animals learn how to use armor.
Well, my time is quite valuable. So 10 gallifars an hour. I reckon we could get the groundwork done in 2, maybe 3 hours.
Done.
All right. As you start to spend the next 3 hours with him, basically getting DeSoto comfortable. Go ahead and give me an animal handling check with advantage.
Come on, dice, don't let me down. Oh wait, I actually have the treat bag for, what was it, plus 1d4 or something?
I believe so.
Yes. So, advantage. Ooh.
All right. In a few hours, you managed to teach DeSoto kind of the basics of what he should be moving like. It's with a lot of positive reinforcement from the treat bag. I'd say that you'd manage to overcome the disadvantage, but you don't gain the AC bonuses just yet.
All right.
As it's still a little bit clumsy.
I was thinking I would give the guy a platinum dragon. You know, that random one I found in my inventory for some reason.
All right.
For, 5 hours today and 5 hours the next day.
All right.
And can we just resolve this now and get it out of the way?
Yeah. Yep. So 5 hours today, you'd manage to get the disadvantage out of the way, but no armor bonus just yet.
All right.
All right. So that's going to be how you're spending your day.
Yep.
Or some of your day, at least. By the way, it is that day now. What are y'all doing? And we should probably end, because I know that there was something that you guys were going to do that very much involved Inun. Which I think he should be around for that.
If it takes another day or so, Zerk would probably go back to the shop. And probably take Sino with him this time, and just go, hey, I found this cool shop, just kind of walking around and not falling from tall buildings. Because I would not be dumb enough to climb a building by myself with no support structure.
Give me a deception check.
Go on.
Give me an insight sectional. There's no. He's projecting pretty hard.
What the hell did you do?
Nothing. I don't know why you're looking at me. You have no evidence. I may or may not have used a coin, but you don't know that.
Really? Then show me the coins you've got.
So, anyway, I found this really cool shop.
Uh-huh, that's what I thought.
And I'm just gonna pick them up. It's like, come on, let's play.
Hey, what are you doing?
Come to soda.
I am not a trade snack.
He's slung over his shoulder.
Sinnel is struggling, but not that hard, because it's been a long day of training. So
yeah, and we should probably wrap up for the night.
Yeah, I guess the police have this resolved. There's not going to be any opening for Dusty, so he's going to fly back, I guess.
All right.
And do something he's not done in a while. Gamble.
All right.
But I'll tell you how he's going to do that afterwards, because we're trying to wrap up.
Yep, we'll figure that out either next session or the week between.
Yes.
Yes, we'll send.
all right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. We will be back next week with more of it. I will be back tomorrow with Tales of Miraleth Dungeons and Dragons. That should be a fun time. Always fun with lightning otters, Do check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those good things. Those are also found down in the description of the channel and video, so do check them out, please. And also, do consider subscribing to our Patreon or the channel here itself. The support really goes a long way. Speaking of that, thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. Because of you guys, we are able to continue bringing this content. We really couldn't do it without you guys. Thanks for coming, and I bid you all a very fond adieu. You guys
All right. Yeah, have a great week, everyone.
See ya.
See you next week.
Yep.
That was a poor attempt, but, you know, discount Mickey and all, so.
Cool.
Good night, everyone.
It doesn't say anything in his contract.
Lord.
No.